It's Saturday and the time is 1 o'clock. Chillmonger's ready, so the show's about to start. The beat's steady, so the flow got a beat too. You like my intro, so I made one just for you. Chillmonger, he be from the north. 33 questions, you got no other choice but to check him out and feel his vibe. He got one of the hottest shows alive. So have a seat and tune in. Chill is ready, so let's begin. 33 fire questions. Chillmonger made these questions. Please check out these questions. Saturday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't you miss it. Don't miss it. Peace.
Oh my God, flashbacks. Jesus Christ.
I need to step my intro game up, man.
I think it's a little bit too long, actually. I could trim it down a little bit.
I liked it, man. It was good. Good stuff.
It is 33 Burning MCU Questions. I'm being joined by the Jaded Fanboy. I'm also being joined by Be Real with D Real.
What up, dog?
What's happening? What's happening, y'all? What's good?
And back of the bus, Marcus.
What's up, everybody?
We all have YouTube channels. Just check us all out because we're admirable people. First question of 33 Burning MCU Questions. Does a planted Stormbreaker eventually produce fruits? It produces something. I know there's going to be leaves coming out of that thing. But he kept that inside that in Thor Love and Thunder. He kept it there for not too long. I think fruit. What kind of fruit would it really make? Like, don't you need
Wouldn't it just grow
metal?
into another Groot?
An alive Groot?
Well, yeah, because at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, all Rocket Raccoon did was just grab a little bit of the twig, plant it, and grew back again. So if you take a section of Groot and you plant it, won't you just grow another Groot?
Okay. How much time passed? But how much time really passed?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, it was a short period of time. So if you do that with Groot, sure. But you took a offspring of Groot, which was the hammer, the Stormbreaker axe, and the Stormbreaker axe can't produce a new fruit, you know?
I guess.
We're also being joined by Mads Mama Bear. Hello there, Mads.
Hi, boys.
Hey, Mama Bear.
Hello.
Hey.
We just asked the question if Stormbreaker could eventually produce fruit. I'm going no. Groot can, but not the axe.
I say Groot fruit. It just grows another Groot. It just grows another Groot.
As much as I like the term Groot fruit, I'm going to go no as well.
Yeah, that's a no over here too. The premise is just weird.
There's enough weird stuff in the MCU. We don't need to add.
Yeah, I don't think we need to add any low-hanging fruit onto this conversation.
Very clever today. Diesel's in the building. Hello. Theo B is here. Hello. Question number 2. Which is the better medical facility, an Asgard infirmary, or a Doctor Strange hospital? You don't think he's going to use some of his magic to heal you up? Doctor Strange? Look, Asgard's infirmary couldn't solve cancer, right? We know that. So I'm just saying that's one loss. A Doctor Strange hospital, we've never seen that fail. This man will be assisting different rooms in his astral projection. Hey, no, don't cut there. Go over there. It's Doctor Strange.
Are you saying the Asgard that there is now, the former the shell of its former self that has like a little playground and a really lousy,
that one?
Yeah. Okay, no. By default, it's going to be the Doctor Strange. By default.
Doctor Strange has better facilities.
Bunch of kids playing doctor is going to have a better facilities in the Asgard for infirmary, please.
I was going to say, plus I feel like every time I go to the Asgard infirmary, it's going to be under some dire straits. Like we're going to be under attack. One of Thor's siblings has just come and slaughtered a bunch of people. Maybe they pulled up to destroy the entire planet. You never know what you're going to get on Asgard. So
they never have a good prognosis in the Asgard infirmary. never ever have a good problem. Somebody either got something in them and we don't know how to get it out, or something slowly killing somebody and we don't know how to fix it.
Shit,
Yeah.
they're
Oh, no,
walking around with one eye for the longest time. You would have thought, hey, if anybody's gonna get the best medical care, it'd be the king of Asgard, right?
And
Look
it
at
took
that
a
evidence.
raccoon to
We're
hook him
thinking.
up with an eye.
Well, no, that's not fair because Odin gave up his eye for wisdom. There's an actual point behind it.
I didn't see
No,
that
no,
scene.
no,
We're
Thor.
talking about
Thor.
Thor.
Oh, Thor. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Because you said the king of
Hella hitting
Asgard, I was still thinking Odin. Sorry. My
Thor,
bad.
Yeah.
Thor got a
Right.
Ravager eye.
Right.
But Mike Porter, yes, that fire is that intro is fire. That's correct. You guys seen Doctor Strange's dirty basement? I'm going with the Asgardians. That is. I like dirty people are just guys who are too focused on the goal, the task. They're not here to clean up. Life is for living, not cleaning.
Well, it's
Dirty,
Dirty.
but efficient.
Mm-hmm. SSJ K. Sanctum, which is a better medical facility, an Asgard infirmary or a Doctor Strange hospital?
Okay. So let's say I'm Jane, for example, right? In Thor 2, she had a tesseract in her, she had the reality stone in her body. They couldn't get it out. Okay. So they already failed there. They don't have good magic and stuff. Hopefully with Doctor Strange, he can do something like that. But I'll be honest, I wouldn't go either one. I'd rather go see Tony Stark because at least he can probably figure out a cure for cancer or something.
Yeah, you do know he's dead, though, right?
Not an option.
Details.
Then I'll just go to Wakanda. I'll go to Wakanda. They have just their tech is
That
just
wasn't an option either.
Well, that's not an option.
I don't want to go to either. I don't want to go because this is the thing, right? Asgard cannot even find a cure for cancer. Doctor Strange, well, we seen his basement. He doesn't clean up his surgical equipment. That's the dirty basement. Come on.
Matt
trust
Bear, what were you saying?
Honestly, of the two of them, when it comes to human health, I would trust Doctor Strange more. He does have the education behind it.
Yeah.
Third question, how was the cancellation of Batgirl affected Marvel's relationship with the directors, Adil and Bilal? Now, I wrote this question before I actually saw an email that was, I guess, leaked. I'm sure Kevin Feige didn't type it with the intention that everyone would see it, but the director said, he reached out to us.
It was the director who posted because it got sent to him.
Would you post that first of all? I feel like that's a little bit unethical. You should be.
I mean, I don't think you should, but these people do it, to make a point or just to put it out there.
Wait a minute.
But I think that's seriously to make a point, though. To DC, you're trash. Marvel is not.
I can't possibly imagine Disney doing anything unethical. That's just so out of left field. I mean, come on.
You think the cancellation means that we're going to get a more Ms. Marvel, or their schedule's cleared up? They'll do all 6 episodes next season?
I mean, well, this is the thing, right? Clearly, they have a relationship with Marvel Studios where they can just bounce and head over to there. After this Batgirl stuff, this whole team, I wouldn't be shocked if none of them didn't want to work with these people again after this situation. Because I don't remember any movie that done this, like where it's that, but that was a pretty dumb decision. No matter how good or bad the movie was going to be, that's beyond ridiculous to do that. Like, people, you have a movie that's already 7 months in filming it. It's different if you canceled it before, like, the scripting phase. Then I don't care. You didn't even film the movie. But shit, you started marketing, releasing set photos, releasing purposeful set leaks to help promote it, gas it up, and then you have people working on it for 7 months and you just cancel it. That's wild.
They're not going to ideally, like, first option, yes, I'm going to take this Warner Brothers job over like Universal, Paramount, Disney. But
if they give them like a big offer to, direct like a Flash movie or something, or a something, maybe they might take it. They just got to give them a big offer this time if they want them to come back. But I think they're good with Marvel. Feige likes them.
Anybody else want to touch this one?
I don't know how it affected them at all. So
4. Which movie do you wish you could have saw one more time in the theaters? Black Panther. You know why? Because that movie made 1.3 billion. If that movie would have made 1.4 billion, then the difference between what this movie makes and what.
I regret seeing Black Panther theaters the opening weekend, not because of the quality. It's reason because this. I got stuck in the front row, like front where you gotta break your neck just to see the screen because people was literally, man. That's the first time for an opening weekend where I got stuck with the shittiest seats in the theater.
Yeah, that's a good reason. I was wondering where you're going with that. So you would watch it one more time in theaters?
Yeah, if I got a good seat, but
all right. 3D, IMAX, what kind?
IMAX for sure. No 3D. 3D's horrible.
Mads Mama Bear, if you could see a movie one more time in theaters, which gets your money?
Thor.
Thor 1?
Yeah, no hesitation, because I saw that within the first week or so, down in the beaches, and that was back when 3D was first beginning. If they announced that it was going to be down at the IMAX at Ontario Place, I would be there in a friggin' heartbeat because the Bifrost was absolutely stunning.
Oh yeah.
And that is one of those things that did not translate well into a smaller screen, where the beauty of how they did the Bifrost was just, it was made for the big screen.
You maybe have changed my answer. So I never watched a single Marvel film in theaters probably till 2014. I wasn't a theater guy. It just wasn't in my habits to go to the movie theaters. Guardians was probably the first one, unless I'm wrong. No, Iron Man 3. I watched that in theaters. But still, it's just it's not my thing.
That's the same year I started going to theaters heavy too, 2014.
Really? See?
But that's when when Godzilla 2014 came out, I started going to theaters heavy, super heavy. Every movie, gotta go see it in theaters. Boom.
Yeah. No, I've said it. I've said it so many times. It would be Thor.
Civil War.
You would have seen that one extra time?
Yeah. More bang for your buck.
Was it really that good?
I love Civil War.
Yes.
Both of you go Civil War.
It was. Even though they just took the Civil War concept and totally bastardized it, it still
nerfed it.
It still worked out into something that was decent. Better than decent, actually.
I would say this: Spider-Man and Black Panther, they should save them for the movie.
The movie I'm picking for a different reason. I would pick No Way Home so I could visibly walk out of it laughing at how stupid the movie is.
I mean, what kind of answers did you guys expect to get? The last time we saw Bat Fam on the big screen was the trash Batman and Robin flick. I got stuck in the front row watching Attack of the Clones the second viewing, but that was it. Mike says,
but that's different. That's torture though. Watching Attack of the Clones in the front row, that's torture. On a different
Sitting
level.
through that movie was just ridiculous.
Endgame at the drive-in during a lightning storm. Oh, so you got to watch that one again.
You
make
during a lightning storm. You dedicated.
Okay.
That would help for a Thor viewing, though.
Yes.
Winter Soldier. I can see why everyone likes that movie. It's quality. Hulk was the only MCU movie I didn't see in theaters, so that one. Oh, well, that's a great answer also.
I was actually going to say Hulk. I love Edward Norton's Hulk. It was the last time I saw a recognizable Hulk.
Arguably, Eric Bana's Hulk is the better Hulk.
But that movie was just so bad.
It was
so bad.
But I'm not talking about the movie. I'm just talking about the Hulk.
Eric Bana was a good Hulk. He was a good Bruce Banner too.
That was an accurate Hulk. Eric Bana's Hulk, peak accurate. Every time he got angry, you literally see him visibly grow.
He was a pissed off, wrecking shit Hulk, and that's what we want. Cinematic.
I just didn't like the lime green. I just didn't like the lime green. That was my only problem.
He did a surprisingly good job to me of showing the conflict between Bruce Banner and the Hulk, like that eternal struggle. It feels like whining to everybody else, even a little bit on Ed Norton. They feel, I don't want to be strong. Ugh. These are gross powers. I destroy things. Yuck. But with Eric Bana, it was we had a role in creating this thing, right? This is my life's work, and now it's become a agent of destruction, and then there's all these people after me trying to take it over and use it. So it's it's a constant thing. I got that out of Eric Bana's Hulk. The movie was just crap.
You'll get no argument from me, sir.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
I'd watch Civil War again just for the first appearance of the Black Panther and Ant-Man growing. What's good? Hello there. And then
Missed
Diesel says he loves the Incredible Hulk. Gator?
Missed opportunity for that Eric Bana Hulk movie. Missed opportunity. There should have been a flashback sequence of the dad abusing Bruce as a baby, just like in the comic, and throwing him around. Missed opportunity.
Nah, Professor Hulk joking for 2 hours is not a good idea.
He kind of did that in that movie because you kind of see the interaction between him and his father. So you already kind of got that impression about their relationship.
But Jaded, you gotta take it all the way. Really, in the comic, the dad was throwing Bruce around. Like,
to me, that was unnecessary. That was
he was throwing Bruce like
I
a
wasn't a
baseball
fan of that. I wasn't a fan of. Oh, look, Bruce Banner was an abused child. It's like you don't need that to establish the anger. He's just, for like 30, 40 years, it was like he was fine. Now all of a sudden, no, the anger is because he was abused as a kid. It's like you're nullifying the whole point of him being angry, being the Hulk. It's I wasn't a fan of it as everybody else was. That's all.
It's Chillmonger, the jaded fanboy, back with the bus. SSJK.Sanctum, Mads Mama Bear, Be Real with D Real. Question 5: who is the Static of the MCU? Easily Peter Parker.
Static.
Virgil Hawkins.
I mean, you can't disrespect Virgil. He's better than Tom Peter.
Well, who is he gonna choose?
Well, you don't have much.
I miss Marvel.
We don't have much to choose from.
I'll go Miss Marvel. She's the only kid superhero who's not like annoying and wimpy or whatever. She's tight. So Kamala.
Peter.
Kamala.
I
all over Peter.
I would dare to go old school on you guys and say Richard Rider Nova
of the MCU.
Oh, MCU. Y'all ain't got nobody.
I would have to go. I would have to go Winter
Soldier.
If we're gonna go by the Static Shock character and his representation in the, I would have to go Bucky. Because he's kind of a secondary character, but he's also getting into his own, and he's also a rebel, and he has his own viewpoint, his own way of doing things. He's not really part of the big group of superheroes. He's his own little thing. That would be my closest.
I see how you got there.
Yeah.
Until Miles Morales shows up, you ain't got one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Not you.
I think you see a couple characters that they're trying to make that youthful, jokey, but still, a dynamic character like Yelena. They're trying to, make her the heir apparent to Natasha, and she does the funny quip thing. She's also younger, so I mean that Kamala Khan also works in that way. Younger.
There's options.
Yeah, but it's not it's more of an apples to oranges if we talking about Virgil.
I would pick Kate, but she's like a college student, so no.
They don't not necessarily got to be the same age. Did you hear Jaded Fanboy's answer with Bucky?
I mean, but
the idea of the type of character as opposed to the age of the character, like.
I'm also thinking that what you mentioned about who they're meant to represent, and so like Virgil, his youthfulness plays a lot into his character, at least from what I've seen of him. So
yeah, because Virgil is like he's not a kid, he's a teen, but young kid superheroes.
Right.
That's why I put him in there with Peter Parker. Eventually he gets older, but we like Spider-Man when he's younger. He's a teen and stuff. He's in school, taking pictures, blah, blah, blah. Miss Kamala Khan, she's a kid superhero. I put her in that. I put him in that group.
Eli Bradley, if he had a character. Sam in the future, I heard they will bring him in one day. I keep hearing that. That Nova rumor is constant. They should do Richard Rider, but whatever they do, we'll find out at September 9. I would go Peter just because of his relationship with Ned, because Virgil had a close friend as well who knew his secrets. How about the Bill Russell of the MCU? Who's the all-time greatest winner of the MCU?
Bill Russell.
Who wins no matter what?
Cap.
Oh,
Yeah,
Iron
he even
Man.
got the girl at the
Iron
end.
I'm about to say,
Man
he even got to
was
go back in time and live out a
Iron Man.
perfect life
Captain
outside of everything that he had done.
I would go Cap or Tony, but the thing is, Tony fucked up a lot more. Cap, I say Cap. Cap doesn't fuck up as much as Tony. Tony
Hey.
fucks up.
Tony's the Wilt Chamberlain of the MCU.
I mean, hey, he makes great. He makes great tech, but dude, that dude's a fuck up.
Like even when Captain America started breaking the law, he was still the hero.
He made.
Like, he was still the good guy. He was still the driving.
No, but he was the golden boy. He was the golden boy.
Yeah,
Cap held it down.
Yeah, it got to be Cap.
Captain America.
And when the government said, "Hey, sign this," and sign the accord, just like, okay, I'll do that.
Yep, civil rights
The only thing Tony
activist.
was right about. The only thing Tony was right about was locking up Wanda. He was right about that.
Absolutely.
He was right about that.
Absolutely.
He was right about.
Doesn't the Bill Russell? Oh my god!
You're thinking way too hard about this one. Cap picked up Mjolnir. Hey
Yeah,
man.
whatever.
Yes. So what's the equivalent of Mjolnir? The Finals MVP.
Larry O'B.
The Heisman
yeah,
Trophy.
Larry
The
O'B.
Heisman Trophy.
Look at it. Everyone says Cap. Cap it is. Question 7. How much of a power-up was the Necro Sword? Because in my head, I don't know how much of a fighter Gore the God Butcher was before he got that sword. Was he already trained? Did he already know a couple of moves? Or was everything he had from those whispers of the Necro Sword? How much of a power-up was it?
Had to have been a huge power. Well, because the sword itself I don't know how strong these gods are. You have some weaker gods and stronger gods, but it can easily slay gods with ease. And I believe Gore did get a huge enhancement from the Necro Sword. I think whatever fighting skills, all the stuff he gained was from that sword. So it was a huge enhancement. I mean, it made him fucking sinister and stuff, gave him sharp teeth and crazy.
Gave him sharp teeth, so it has to be a power-up.
I would say the implication is that it was a huge power up, but then the thing that was a problem with that movie to me is that they never solidified it. They never told us like you're being corrupted by the Necro Sword, like, or not that you need to spoon feed it to me that way, but they never defined it.
Clear.
They just it was just kind of there. The Necro Sword didn't even feel like it was central necessarily to what was going on. It was Gore's hatred of the gods that seemed to be driving him the most, as opposed to this, this evil weapon that he's using.
Well, for me, the Necro Sword was just like Green Lantern's power ring. All of the power was from the sword. I mean, as far as we knew, he was just a farmer who's never done anything athletic. He was never a soldier. He was just anybody.
Or the babysitter and his
Gore the babysitter. And because again, it's like you can create the shadows. He can teleport. He can do all of his powers just come from the sword.
Okay, and I like what Flash by Night said, because he actually read comics, and from the way he said it with such, certainty, Gore wasn't a fighter. I'll take your word for it. Gore wasn't a fighter.
He wasn't.
Is that everyone?
Yeah.
8.
Wait, real quick question. So does Sony have the rights to Null?
I would imagine it's a Venom character.
Yeah.
They have the rights to all things Venomy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they got rights.
Isn't it weird that a Spider-Man character created Venom, and then years after that deal was even created, here comes Null, and in comic books, and that belongs to
wouldn't
Spider-Man.
Null be classified as a Spider-Man character?
Because it's under Venom, yeah.
Because it's under Venom.
That's what happens when you.
I mean, but this is the reason, because he was created well after the rights and stuff. So I don't know if he would still apply, because he fights like Thor, all types of heroes and stuff.
So then, do they need to go back and reestablish those things every time a new character is created? Like, what does that
feel like?
A
Sony's made it this
use.
far without going back. They will not alter that deal one iota, one bit, because as soon as you do, then things change. Like, they love that they were grandfathered into this thing. So long as they keep making Spider-Man movies, they will retain those rights to his Spider-Man films.
And with all the content they have, they don't. For Sony, they don't need any new characters. They already have current rights to all the Spider-Man characters, lore, everything. They have a bunch of content as is. I don't think they would use Noel, and I Yeah, they don't need no.
The 8th question of 33. Do you eat food in Valhalla?
Yes, they
Yeah.
eat food. All lore-wise,
That's
Norse,
part of the deal.
Norse lore-wise, yes, because they after they endless battles, they feast and they party type thing. So yeah,
That's a waste of heaven. Like I'm trying to not need food. Do they do it because they enjoy it or because they need to function?
It's just for pure enjoyment.
Pleasure, yeah.
It's part of the
It's
joy.
basically Valhalla is a giant party.
yeah.
Fine then. Then I do want food. Yeah, a little milkshake here and there. I
Look,
don't know why
milkshake.
milkshake was the first
Bring
delicacy
all
that
the
came to
boys
mind.
the yard.
You're Canadian. You're old enough to drink. It's all right, darling.
Next question. Question number 9. Did you ever buy into the Thor and the Jane love? I did. First movie, I was there. Second movie, I was like, it's been like 3 years since the last one. And you were missing from the Avengers. I wasn't really too into it. And then by the time we get to Love and Thunder, well, the movie wasn't long enough when they finally did get to have their kiss. And there was a lot of love from Mjolnir and from Stormbreaker, and there was tension all there. If they would have spent more time between Jane and Thor, I'd have been bought in. But I did in the first movie. I was in.
I like how the first movie handled it, especially seeing when they show Thor explaining the 9 realms to her, and he's trying to explain that it's not exactly magic or science, like a little weird mix of both, all that, blah, blah, blah. This to help establish a relationship. But even then, their relationship just felt like we're both sexy people, so let's have, 2 sexy people be together. That's it.
Is that
we
it?
both look beautiful. Let's work together. It didn't feel like nothing romantic and, the cute romantic shit. It was just 2 sexy people together.
To me, it was more like they were a couple because they're a couple in the comics, so we have to make them a couple in the movie. Same thing with Scarlet Witch and Vision. Like that romance was so forced. Like it's not as bad as with Thor and Jane. Like they actually tried, but they were only a couple because it's like they're a couple in the comics, so we got to make them a couple in the movie. So I never really bought it any more than the superficial that it was.
It was only addressed in the first and the fourth movie, right? I mean,
pretty much. Yeah.
In the second movie, you kind of had something going on there, but to me it was more like a damsel in distress thing in the second movie than it was us developing the next level of our relationship. Because to me, between Thor 1 and 2, it felt like the energy between them had died down a bit because they had been separated. Because what's the first thing she does when she meets him in 2 is smacks him, So it's like, okay, we gotta work on the romance part betwixt you two. And then she was absent in 3, so
you know what? Yeah, but the thing when she slapped him and then she slapped Loki, I actually liked her interactions with all of the family members. That was for New York.
Well,
and then she slaps the mother. No, she didn't slap the mother, but she was like, "Is that a nega quantum generator?" And she's like, "No, it's just a magical thing that measures. Does it use subatomic particles?" Yeah, that's an anti-gravitatiinator. Like she had like a cool little back and forth with the mom. Got them at the parents. The dad already knew who she was. She's like, "Oh, your dad knows about me." Like she was all happy in the second one. It was more so about meeting the family.
And see, that was a big reason Natalie Portman did leave, because remember when they were switching directors and the writing of the movie was changing, and Jane got relegated to just damsel in distress.
Yeah,
that was one of the big reasons why she left. Director changing, the writer, it just got so sloppy that she was like, "I'm never returning to this."
It's funny because she only missed 1 Thor film, but she feels present. She feels absent. Jane felt like what do you say?
The chick that you hit up when she's in town.
Yeah, like
That's why she slapped him.
he kind of felt like what Betty Ross was to Bruce Banner. Like we know that that's the historic mate. We know that that's where it started at, but it was Natasha from every point on after that. It was never Betty Ross again. That's kind of how it felt, and it's weird to say that because she's been in all but 1 Thor movie. So I'm not buying the romance because you had 3 movies to get it there. And
you know what you're not mentioning? The Avengers movies. She was missing in Age of Ultron when everybody was there at the party, and even Don Cheadle, War Machine was there. If you would have signed a proper contract with Natalie Portman,
busy,
she would have these
Jill.
cameos. She was busy. What?
Remember? They were him and Tony Stark were girlfriend measuring.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because she
He's
works
like,
for
Jane,
Shield,
Jane
and
still
she's
got
doing
that.
this and doing astronomy. They were measuring
Yeah,
something.
mine's more busy.
Anyone know anything about the planet that Ms. Marvel was swapped to? It's called Aldana and ruled by Prince Yan, the Korean actor Park Seo-joon. What are you talking about, Sean
I
Glenn?
don't know nothing about where she went.
I always like Jane in the comics, but she's got nothing on Sif and Brunhilde.
Brunhilde.
Now that's
I always felt like
that
that was a missed opportunity in
Sif?
Thor
Oh,
comics
yeah.
to play
yeah.
that triangle, Jane, Sif, and Thor.
Yes.
And they never bought into that. And I'm like, how come Sif is just this supernumerary character sitting to the side? I mean, even in mythology, she's Thor's wife. So it's like, how come we aren't making Sif into more than what
I
she
wish
is?
they would have just left Sif and let her be. She pops up at like the most random, inconsequential time. She was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., y'all.
Oh, shoot.
Like they
I
did
saw that
her
episode.
dirty. I was like, just leave her alone. If you ain't gonna give her anything canon, if you're not gonna give her anything significant, leave her alone. But they really drugged that character out. She was in Loki. It's just never been anything. Then she gets her arm cut off for 2 minutes in Thor: Love and Thunder. They have totally discarded that character.
Hey, that's Kevin Feige getting his revenge after popping up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, his issues with that. I'll use on that shit. All right, I'm about to make you look trash.
Question 10. Who can give a better first date? Steven, Mark, or Jake?
Mark. Jake is too wild. I mean, you know, he's a killer and stuff. You know, he
Jake knows all the spots, man. Jake knows where to go to have fun. And deal with some stuff if you get out of line.
I mean, but Jake's definition of fun is like, yo, you want to chill in this back alley and stuff, where I killed like these 10 dudes.
It depends on who Jake's on a date with. If he's on a date with Yelena, they might have fun.
No, Jake will ruin the fun. Jake will take you on like the cliff, some romantic sunset. Yeah, actually tossed a couple dead bodies over here a few years ago. Yeah, he knows all the places, but he's got a story.
She could probably be like, "Oh yeah, I shot a few people, assassinated somebody's daughter over there." You know.
Yeah, because Yelena, even though she literally jokes about killing, like she likes it. It feels like she likes that shit. She likes it.
I feel like Steven Grant, he's a sly dog. He's over here macking on all the girls at the museum. We've seen evidence of it. He's a lover. However, Mark, he got his one Layla, and he only is with Layla because he feels guilty about the death of Layla's dad. You know, that's not necessarily the romantic type that you're wanting. Sure, he can hold down a marriage, but that we're talking about dating here.
Well, Steven got more play with Layla because their interests line up so much. Mark and Layla was like super opposite of each other. So
Steven turned that little adventure excavation into a date with Layla. So Steven, come on now.
I mean, he got some game. He do. He got more game than Mark.
Does he? Because Mark got the date with the girl.
Mark was struggling.
Mark got the date. He got the steak dinner with old girl that Steven messed up because they was black.
But no. But this thing, right? Don't blame Mark. Don't blame Steven. Blame Mark for not telling Steven. He screwed over Steven.
But Mark set it up. There would be no date without Mark.
Because Mark got that date for him. That's the thing.
And you see what would Steven even be able to talk to that woman?
He was.
So wait a minute.
He didn't even. That's Steven didn't know about the date because he was.
So wait a minute. You're saying Moon Knight is his own wingman?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. It was a freaky situation.
I was thinking they're all gonna suck as first dates because by default they're just gonna ghost the chick because they're not gonna know that they were on a date anyway.
Yeah,
that's why I say Mark set up Steven for failure. He didn't tell him, but he wasn't trying to. But gotta tell you, man, like I got you a date. Gotta tell him about the date.
I put a poll up. I'll keep the poll up there so you guys can vote. So far, 60% are voting for Steven. I'm telling you, Steven's the guy. Mads Mama Bear, who do you got?
Wow.
Who gives a better first date?
Oh, honey, I'm not dating anyone with multiple personalities anymore. Then they're done.
Anymore.
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 Besides, y'all know they're not my type anyway.
Yeah, but one of them might as well. One of them could be.
It's not what she meant. Question.
You know what I meant.
Multiple personalities. Just say bring back Sean. I like Sean.
Steven, he was going to eat steak for his lady, right, TJ? Sounds like a date Hella would like. Oh my god. Jake hooked Steven's date up. Was it Jake or was it Mark who hooked up that date?
It was Mark.
It was Mark.
Jake set it up, not Mark. No, it was Mark. It was Mark Flash. Mark is more adventurous. That's true.
Only thing Jake was about was just killing the targets for.
Please, you don't need to be adventurous. Just say you enjoy hiking. Women love that. They're fun.
Steven would have.
You don't need to take them on a cruise.
Next part of the show, it's true or false. I only want the true or false. Don't really need to extend these answers longer than they need to be. And I'm probably going to make this a clip. So it's 33 Burning MCU Questions with Chillmonger, with the Jaded Fanboy, with Back of the Bus, SSJK.Sanctum, Mads Mama Bear, Be Real with D Real. Everyone is in the description, so follow them. Question 11, true or false, the Jabari tribe are vegetarian. Nope, you guys got fishers. False.
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 I don't know. I can't answer.
Aren't they wearing animal pelts? False.
True or false?
Okay, then false then.
Kang is a scary name. Kang the Conqueror.
False.
False.
True.
True.
I'm gonna go with true.
True.
Well, it's not scary, but it's it's powerful. Something man behind it.
Yeah, it's something I've never heard before. So when I hear it, it make me think about it, and it's like, okay, yeah, no. Now I'm wondering. Now I'm pondering.
Not enough
It's
syllables.
it's not like it's Stan
Not enough
the Conqueror,
Like if somebody popped out and be like, I'm Brian. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good.
Yeah, but you got Kang, and then you got Doctor Doom.
Dr. Doom is obviously better, but that's a little bit more poignant. You know what I mean? Kang makes you think.
X1, 13. Tony was a better CEO than Pepper was. That's false.
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 Because she did all the work. He was
like a mug.
He was like the CEO on paper. She does all the work.
She was doing
14th.
the work even when he was CEO.
Yeah.
True or false, Florence Pugh got in trouble with that dress.
False. Nah.
The little revealing her somewhere around the front.
False.
Don't
That was an amazing dress she wore. False. Disney
I think it's true. I think Disney, they got their little morality clauses in their contracts and whatnot. I think it's true.
Can somebody remind me who Florence Pugh is?
I'm trying to remember. I don't
That's
even know.
Yelena.
Elena. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes,
probably.
see if you can pull up the dress, because
I don't think I should do that. I don't think that would be appropriate.
I'll find the dress and get the link.
Do it.
Go on.
Do it.
Question 15 of true or false.
Address.
Those 4 Russians are a family.
No.
This is true. All it needed to be was real for one of them.
True in the truest sense of the word, family. Because let's not forget, families are dysfunctional as hell.
Mm-hmm. That's 2 truths.
False.
That's 1 false.
True.
That's 3 truths. Come on, Mama Bear.
False.
I'm gonna go with false.
They're not a family biologically, but they're family by.
I don't really think they had each other's backs either. So, I mean, even if
They all got out of there alive, didn't they?
Yeah, but through necessity, not because they were family.
And again, dysfunctional.
Which
16th
is
question.
an unfortunate trait of family every now and again.
16th question, Mads Mama Bear. Goose is cute. I saw your little cat on the screen. I saw the tail. Would you be able to say that Goose was cute?
Goose was my favorite thing about that movie.
I'm going to give that a true.
I'd adopt him. Yes, true.
Forget the tentacle part. That's irrelevant.
I can't remember.
Have you my
That's
theory on
the
Flurkin.
Oh, the Flurkin.
Yeah.
Oh, false.
I would adopt Fluffy from Harry Potter. Tentacles are a side note. I don't care.
She definitely got in trouble for that dress.
When
Changing
when my pets eat people and put my eye out, that's a kind of a deal breaker. So I'm gonna say false.
Well, it depends on who you have your pet eat. I mean, it's like get rid of annoying exes. That'd be great. I mean,
Goose looked totally arbitrary. He
it was arbitrary. It didn't matter. Okay.
We got true or false. Rocket is cute. No, Rocket is not cute.
No.
Maybe. No, even a raccoon itself, with it's just sitting
cute.
alone, you're not cute. As soon as you start talking, you're not cute.
Raccoons are cute. It's just how he acts as a raccoon isn't cute. You got that manly voice and stuff. Nah.
No, we're still on
raccoons are cute.
Yeah, if you baby raccoons.
So is Rocket a baby raccoon or grown?
But some older raccoons are cute, depending on they're cute when they're like.
Okay, but is Rocket cute?
We're not
asking are certain raccoons in a certain light on a certain day of the year.
Rocket himself,
are they cute?
Rocket himself isn't cute because it's that voice. If he had a cuter voice and stuff, I'm like, okay, he's cute, but.
I can remember many nightmarish moments going out on the patio and fighting with raccoons as a young lad. My experiences with raccoons cute is not a word I would use with raccoons at all.
You're alone, Rocket. Rocket Raccoon is not cute. False all the way around, except for that guy.
Except for the K-Dot would have gone if Rocket Raccoon had the voice of a chipmunk, he would have been cute.
Well,
no, I understood that reference.
Honestly, I love Rocket. And yes, but anything cute? Fuzzy up for me is cute. Yes.
All right, you got a friend, K-Dot. 18.
Animal known for dumpster diving with the voice of Bradley Cooper.
Question number 18. This was the funniest joke in Phase 4.
Look at you. All stealthy. Little time in Wakanda and you come out White Panther. It's actually White Wolf. Huh?
No.
That was
true.
A joke.
That was hilarious.
It wasn't like laugh out loud hilarious with that end where he was like he didn't know what the White Wolf name meant.
That was the funniest joke in Phase 4.
Clever, yes. Funny, not so much.
It's like, I'm shocked Falcon didn't know that his name was White Wolf yet.
It never came up. What happens in Wakanda stays in Wakanda.
Unless you talk to a psychiatrist.
For a while?
Guys, that was the funniest joke of Phase 4. I was on the floor laughing when I heard that 3 a.m. in the morning watching this episode.
And you were really,
I'm gonna let you be great, Gil. I'm gonna let you be great, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to say, man, if you like it, it's cool.
You are wrong. All of you are wrong.
Thank you, T'Challa.
The reason you thought, okay, you could watch Thor Ragnarok and think it's funny if you're tired at 3 o'clock in the morning. So you just get the giggles.
Of Gray. Jared says that he wants this with Brunt with Rocket. That's right.
No.
Now imagine they kept Rocket's British accent from the comics. How is it a British accent? Actually, you can tell. I was gonna say because even that dog that speaks Russian, you can tell like it's a Russian dog. Cosmo. False. That joke was kind of corny. Hunter the White Wolf is Black Panther. Yeah, but they're not doing a Hunter White Wolf, so like I don't mind. That's why I always forgiven the whole White Wolf thing. I never went, oh, they're taking from another. Never really cared for it. The 19th question of 33 Burning MCU Questions. A character you want to get run over by a bullet train. This has got to be that politician that put the pin inside of Tony. Was it Tony that he did that?
The senator who's part of the Hydra.
The senator from Hydra. That dude is a weasel. Get hit by a bullet train.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Shandling's character.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Daryl.
I have two specifically. I think these are two of the MCU's worst characters. Well, four. Ned, Korg, Hulk, and Thor. They can all go.
That's a lot.
All of them at the same time. Line them up.
I mean, you give a DC fan this opportunity, he's going to name 4 characters.
Hey, you said what character you want,
Singular.
The goats from Love and Thunder. Line them up together.
I can see why you'd say that.
Please.
Let's go into the live chat. Maybe they have some answers. Agent Deaver. She can go. That's right, Adnan. Agent Deaver is a scallywag. Star Fox.
She wasn't that bad.
And she was pretty bad, man. She was told direct orders, don't go inside. They're just kids, and she still did.
I mean, yeah, that's the worst thing. That's a bad thing she did, but other than that, she wasn't bad. Like, you know, super bad.
Okay, yeah, I'd have to agree with Sean Glenn.
Don Cheadle. Marvel Studios is like, who the hell is that Hunter guy? Yeah, they don't really know who it is. Yeah. Korg or Agent Deaver for Ms. Marvel? Why Korg? You don't want rock babies?
This is my man.
No War Machine love out there, huh?
Thumbs up the stream, that helps. Question 20. Is there a film where the mantle is more important than the hero? The answer is no. We don't go to the movies to watch mantles and how it's handled. We like the guy who they casted, and we want to see how he...
Hold on, are you saying the actor or the hero?
Neither.
Are you saying Captain America?
We're not there to see who becomes Captain America. We're there to see Steve as a boy in Brooklyn get the serum, how he travels the world fighting, the time travel that he goes through, specifically the government stripping Captain America and seeing him away as like some sort of nomad. We are there for the guys, for the hero, not the mantle.
Yeah, because let's say, for example,
Falcon and Winter Soldier, right, Kata? They took that away. They gave you the mantle to John Walker, and we were watching for Sam and Bucky.
That's the hero identity is supposed to be the add-on with them as the Peter Parker. He gets shaped that way because of his situation with his uncle, and then now he wants to be Spider-Man. But he can't really be Spider-Man without those powers, but he still has the qualities and everything to be Spider-Man. You know, so yeah, we're here for seeing the person become these heroes and stuff. We want to see the mantles. We want to see Batman do Batman stuff in the Batman movie. We want to see how Bruce Wayne becomes Batman, depending on the film.
Well, I would have to say, if there's a film where the mantle is more important than the hero, I'd have to say Captain Marvel. Because it doesn't matter
say the word Captain Marvel to the end. That was
hold on. You're saying where is there a film where the mantle is more important than the hero? I don't care about we don't care about Carol Danvers. We care about Captain Marvel, because you had Captain Marvel, you had Captain Marvel be three various characters. So you're caring about the mantle, not the hero.
Wow. So for that, you went into that theater because it was called Captain Marvel, and you remembered what used to happen in comic books. So for that film, you were there for the mantle. Wow.
Yeah, I was there.
I never thought I'd get that answer. That's that's a unique take on it.
Well,
I was looking at it more so.
You're asking, is there a film where the mantle is more important? And I'm saying the only one I could think of would be Captain Marvel.
I would say that this Funeral for Cheddar movie is gonna be come here for the mantle because they're calling it Black Panther. I think that is an example of where the mantle... What did you say, Mama Bear?
I was trying to interject for I was muted. The only reason why most people saw Captain Marvel is because we were led to believe that it was going to be an integral to Endgame.
Yeah.
Frankly, I wouldn't have seen it.
It was put in it right before Endgame. You're right.
Yeah. And it didn't matter at all.
I'm with Jaded on this one. There's not a person out there that won't be sad when that will be absolutely devastated when Carol finally meets up with Rogue. I'll be cheering my ass off.
We're all gonna love that.
I think the character always matters more than the mantle for the most part. I think that's the common way of storytelling. You don't go into it telling the story of the position. You go into it telling the story of the character, and that's just the storytelling more than filmmaking. It's just telling a good story.
TJ's got a channel called Flash by Night. If you go to the Flash movie, are you there for Barry or are you there for Wally? In this scenario, I'm there for whichever one they chose to go with in their universe. Because sometimes they do Barry, sometimes they do Wally.
But see, this is the difference with the Flash mantle, right? Like for me, Barry, Wally, and Jay, I almost love them all equally as like users of the Flash mantle. Even though, yes, there are different people under this name, but they're one of the few characters where the mantle get passed on to multiple people, and all of them do just as good as the other in holding it up.
Well, unless you're Robin.
See, I'm of a different thought process there. When you say Flash, to me, I automatically think Barry, because Barry is the most, well, until recently, the most showcased Flash.
Right.
You know, and in all across most forms of media,
he's
not a Barry Flash. You know, and so to the layman, to the casual, Barry's the Flash, and then you got this TV show, and so since all we are about is visual, you know, nobody's gonna go back and read a comic book and see that whole Wally West storyline, or go watch or look at some old Justice Society comic books and go, hey, that dude's called Flash too. We want it quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Right.
No,
I agree.
It depends
for me,
on where
Barry's
you're coming from.
yeah, for me, Barry's the top. But I think even Jay and Wally, they also do just as great carrying that mantle too, like being the Flash. But I do.
I can't argue with the quality. I'm just saying, in my mind, when you say Flash,
first I think about
that's
Barry
who pops up. Yeah,
Barry's the first one I think of. Barry.
I mean, the same thing can be said with the Green Lantern. I want to see a Green Lantern. I don't care who's playing the ball, to a point, obviously, but I want to see Green Lantern. I want to see.
I mean, Jay, we know you want to see Guy Gardner Green Lantern, though.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying if they have. He was the first. Okay, hold on. He was the first. He was supposed to be the first Silver Age. Okay, Green Lantern. He was the original. He wasn't.
I want to see Batman punch Guy Gardner and knock him out. That's what I want to see in live action.
This is a stupid scene.
Like Skip and Tosh, they turned into mantles. But I remember when they were just supposed to be disguises for the character. Like when Spider-Man and Dan Slott got creative and they said, you know what, there's actually a Spider-Verse and it's destiny for someone to get bit by a spider. They did some crazy thing like that where it becomes a mantle now when you look at it from the multiverse.
Why is Dan Slott the guy to turn everybody's canon on its head? Why is that Dan Slott's role in Marvel?
That's his mission.
Why does he keep doing that?
Wait for She-Hulk.
Ruin characters.
Go away.
Because just just like how Dan Slott was destined to do what he had to do, and how he tried to make characters destined for stuff, he was destined to destroy this stuff.
Like, fam, go away, please.
I don't care how much people praise Superior Spider-Man. What he did to the Silver Surfer, it was just unforgivable to me.
I agree, sir.
He literally wrote runs of Silver Surfer that I do not own. I literally did not buy those comics. It's just
Marcus, Tony says that when you say Flash, I think of Ezra Miller, the human mosquito. What is Ezra Miller?
A fugitive.
Fugitive.
Yep, he's a fugitive.
I wonder if he's running like this.
Hey, recently some rumor came. I don't know if this is true, but they were saying Ezra Miller walks around America with like a body armor and guns. And then I went to Google, typed in Flash with guns, and I found this comic where Flash had guns. I was dying. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Sean Glenn, we covered this maybe 4 Saturdays ago. This comic book specifically, we were talking about it. Mm-hmm. What'd you say, Mats?
No, for me, you mentioned Flash. I think John Wesley Shipp automatically. But in response, I did mention it in the chat. In response to, am I going for Flash? Am I going for Barry or Wally? That really depends on actually where, what I'm watching. If I'm watching the Justice League animated cartoon, that's Wally, because he's the Flash in that case.
Okay, Dan Slott single-handedly saved Spider-Man from Joe Quesada's nonsense, puts some respect on his name. Mike, I knew you'd come in when you heard Dan Slott. And if Mike is in here, that means he's got us playing on his shop. So keep your language PG so we don't scare away the customers over at Rogue Comics in beautiful Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Scare away the customers, guys. What we got to do. Continue.
For people like Dan Slott, when you can't sell comics because you're a great writer, sell them by doing outrageous things to people's beloved characters. Just ruin it for a cheap, shocking moment. Wow.
Sounds like the Game of Thrones writers for season 8.
Oh my God, I was thinking that. We got the same brain, fam. We got the same brain. That immediately.
Well, we ran out of ideas, so let's just butcher the characters.
Richado says something great point. I forgot about this. He made Franklin Richards is no longer a mutant. That was retconned. How do you do that? That was the dumbest thing ever. It was unneeded. Jonathan Hickman was in the middle of a story where he had Franklin Richards as a prominent position. Strip Zdarsky contributed to that story with those 4 issues of X-Men and Fantastic Four crossing over. Terry Dodson did the artwork, and you're over here like, oh yeah, they're not a family anymore. They're not mutants anymore. I love that at Hellfire Gala back in 21, not the most recent one, but there was a moment where Professor X whispered in someone's ear or something, and it was like an answer to the Franklin Richards thing. We didn't see those speech bubbles of what was whispered, but it was like, cool. Whatever was whispered is the retcon of the retcon. I'm confident of that. I'm very happy that happened. Okay. The MCU Captain Marvel is far more powerful than the cosmic OG Ms. Marvel, so Rogue won't be able to drain her. They can do whatever they want. Good Franklin is not a mutant. Mike, I mean, you don't got to be right all the time. You can be wrong every now and again, and that's okay. That's what America's all about.
I mean, Rogue is still a drainer. I mean, she drains energy. Or can she only drain mutated specific people?
Energy.
Whatever they say she's able to drain in the movie is what she'll be draining.
Yeah, she can drain anybody who got her. If she can drain Thanos if she wanted to, and she'll look like a purple raisin too.
Yeah, but she can only handle so much power, like so she does kind of limit herself.
Yeah.
Like
the 21st question: what is Kevin Feige's reaction to the Eternals 2 and the Moon Knight new season being confirmed? If you're unaware, there is a video of Oscar Isaac with the director of Moon Knight, Mohammed Diab, and they're like chilling, and they're like, why else would we be here in Cairo? And then the second confirmation was Patton Oswalt, who did the voice for Pip, right? In Eternals. And he's like, yeah, that's announced. We're gonna be coming for the Eternals too. And he said that, thinking that we're in September where D23 happened. No, we're not in September. So you dropped the ball with 2 announcements that are, when they do the phase 6 and then all the empty spaces are there. 2 of them we know about now. And we can imagine a Spider-Man film will be there too. What's Kevin Feige's reaction?
Okay, well, this is Kevin Feige's reaction, obviously.
No
takes
emails.
Takes him into a room, ties him up to a chair, and waterboards him. Like, why'd you say that? You say it again, I'm going to kill you next time.
K-Dot is joking, 100% joking, and he does not mean this.
I'm joking. What do you mean I'm joking?
Tap into his inner Roger Goodell. Gotta get a rein in.
What do you think happened when somebody got K-Dot's pizza wrong?
Is that why there's not a Little Caesars? No. What did you do to the Little Caesars guys? K-Dot, come on.
Well, when they do, one of my pieces not hot and ready like it's supposed to be, and it's cold and ready. Let's say they disappear off the face of the earth.
Right.
They disappear.
Yeah.
You give him a bad review on Yelp.
Give him a bad review.
22nd question: why has Sword been kept secret from those Avengers? You think Tony knew about it?
I don't know why. Well, it's been a secret for like ever since, because they've been there since Avengers.
Since 1995.
Yeah, I don't know why they was a secret.
Because they don't know what to actually do with Sword yet, so they're just keeping it on the back burner, is my guess.
Well, they don't trust the Avengers.
They don't.
That was evident.
That's right. That's totally right. And as not only do they not trust the Avengers, they wouldn't even document the Sword existed, because when Black Widow reveals everything in Winter Soldier, still Sword and everything that it had to do with Shield, that it was existing, was gone. It was a complete different, separate freaking division. What they could do now, what I'd liked, is to make Agents of Shield's Chloe Bennett. What was her character? Daisy? Sky? If they could say Quake. So Quake was busy. She's with the Sword right now, and that's why we haven't seen her. That'd be a great way to introduce her, and we won't wonder where was she.
I think the only person who knew about it was Fury, because he's chilling with Sword in space right now.
That makes sense.
Well, Fury has secrets on secrets.
Yeah, that's all he does. Question number 23. Which MCU character has been rickrolled the most easily? The YouTuber Kamala Khan. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. You know when you look for a video and that pops up?
Okay, yeah.
Kamala Khan got rickrolled. Way more than Tony. Tony's too busy living life. He's not watching tutorials on how to, I don't know, cook food or whatever else you do on YouTube. He's not watching this.
I don't know. I could see Scott Lang getting rickrolled a lot.
Scott Lang was in prison for a bit of his time, so no.
Yeah, so when he goes back on, when he got out and he's going online, he don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna say Steve, right? Because after he woke up, Steve used YouTube to get all of that information, everything he missed. It's the easiest way to bring it in. So Steve definitely got rickrolled.
That's a good pick. He did say the internet is useful.
I'm kind of with him on this one. Also, I could see Tony sending him a whole bunch of rickrolls just for the sheer hits and giggles.
Like, hey Steve, check this out. It's an alien. What?
Never gonna give you up.
What does this mean?
I say
It
Peter
could have been
or
funny
Kamala.
because if in a later movie there's a Rick roll, Steve could have gone, I recognize that reference.
Hey, look, the good thing about being in Steve's position, the amount of music you get to catch up on.
Well, not really, because he grew up on the 40s band, so he's not going to be interested in rock or rap or techno or any of that music.
But he doesn't know it yet. He's probably a Tupac or Eminem fan.
Yeah, right. Steve is an
he's probably listening to Tupac like,
probably.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. Sam's his best buddy. Sam's introducing him to the good music.
He did Marvin Gaye.
He did recommend Trouble Man. That is a bomb.
I know Steve would like the Temptations. He probably liked the Control Debts, Diana Ross.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Steve Rogers would love Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, yeah.
This is a guy who admitted he was part of a barbershop quartet. Okay, come on.
So he's starving for good music.
Not according to him. That's the type he likes, the big bands type.
Then on top of that, they're dead.
Ooh, headcanon.
So it's time to get into something else.
The last question for you, D-Real, is what changed Steve Rogers? Came out of ICE, 60 years down there, arrives back up, sees a couple of internet videos, listens to a couple of songs. What changed Steve?
Him? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give like a deep answer. Modern human interaction. Because I don't think if he came out of the ice and people still had like 1945 sensibility that he would have changed. Not only was it the technological changes, but it was the cultural and social changes. Women are treated differently, men are treated differently, Black people are treated differently. So it was all of that culture bombing that hit him all at once that changed him. I think no, Steve Rogers was always of that moral kind of high ground, and he was happy to see these social changes. But I don't think any of that changed him, Well, you are entitled to your opinion, sir.
Well, look, I can agree. Phil, I can agree with that, but I can't agree with that. All that stuff is probably shocking to see because sometimes people don't expect or think these changes would happen.
Also, look at it this way. So Steve was frozen at a time where they were fighting a world war. And so that moral compass that you're talking about with Steve, it was kind of focused in a way that we have to win this war for all mankind, for the greater good. And so to be melted down 50 years later, and you got all this new stuff, you got all these new problems, it makes it feel like that your lifelong struggle was so inconsequential to what ended up being. So that potentially, that along with all the cultural stuff, is a change in Steve.
I think it's a little bit more like the little things, because I remember the line where Steve goes, we don't boil everything as much. And I think what changed him the most was not so much the technology, but the convenience of everything. Because, like there were washing machines, but it's like now everybody has a washing machine. Just being able to order food by the phone. It doesn't even have to be a cell phone. Just the little things, I think, is what changed him the most, because it was like it's because I guess he kind of grew up with, like, pull yourself up by the bootstraps type guy, but nowadays it's a lot easier to do it than it used to be. I think it's like the little things for him.
Word. That was the final question. Be Real with D-Real. Subscribe to his channel. He's very pro boycotting the Black Panther movie, because the only way that the studio will get the idea is if you don't give them the money. And then they go, oh, we got to make a change. Pretending otherwise is stupid. Anyways, Be Real with D-Real. Well, what do you got to say about your channel? What's happening? What should we expect? Thursday live stream?
Yeah, my normal live that I do on Thursdays next week, I'm going to be doing it on Wednesday. So tune in for that. And for all of those people that are uptight about boycott's just a word. If you choose to not see Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it's a choice. If you choose to see it, well, don't get hung up on the word, because if it's 100,000 people not going to see it, even if they don't call it boycott or whatever they call it, abstain, they're still not going to see it.
Facts.
So with that, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good.
Take care.
Each other. Peace.
All right, Be Real.
I'll even add to that part of the conversation. If you were gonna see the movie, 3-4 times, because you saw the first one 3-4 times, and then you decide I'm only gonna see this movie on that one time, then like you're still contributing to what I would like, and for Black Panther 2 to make less money than Black Panther 1. So I mean, boycott, withhold, abstain. There's a lot of words you can use. I'm just saying, let's not make as much money for the second movie as we did for the first movie, and we'll get change. We're more likely to get a recast.
Well, I think that second week is going to be telling when people actually see the story right. Because a lot of what that helped, that even helps me not want to see it was those leaks, right? I'm not saying those are true. I don't know. But if those leaks are true, and I think when people see the movie, eventually they will be turned off once they see it. People only go into it because they like the first movie. They like Black Panther, Chadwick's death, that trailer. But once they see the writing of it and how it's being done, then maybe people might go like, oh, all right. Because that second week will be very telling of the film. It's probably going to make, what, 400, 500 million or something. But
and when you think of how quickly movies go to Disney Plus now, there's going to be a lot of viewers, potential money that would have went to the movie that go, no, we'll just wait.
45-day window.
That is the dumbest thing ever. And
It's terrible. It is. And I feel like there are a lot of things that are stacked up against Wakanda Forever. The proximity to Black Adam, the being the last film of Phase 4. Like, it'll get a lot of play opening weekend, as you guys have said. And then the real telltale sign of whether or not people like this movie will be weekends 2 and 3. And I don't think people are going to have the emotional energy that they claim they're going to have. Oh, I'm going to go to the theater and cry. I don't know why that's such an endearing thing.
I'm going to bring classrooms to see this movie because it's important to watch T'Challa die. Huh?
People are not going to have the emotional endurance to do that multiple times, right? Like if I'm to believe the, all of the trailer reactions that I'm seeing over YouTube of the tears and things of that nature, you're going to sign yourself up for that multiple times. You're going to pay for it. I don't believe you. I'm calling your bluff. So I expect to see, similarly to what we've already seen this phase with Multiverse of Madness and Thor Love and Thunder, and most of the films of this phase, to have a significant drop in the second weekend, because you're just selling trauma. You're selling sadness. That's not something that people sign back up for so quickly.
And that 45 window is going to hurt them. Steve would dig. Oh yeah, there was a question here that we asked, guys. It was what changed to Steve Rogers, and the question. Now I just lost my place because I went back to that screen. So Steve would dig anything from Motown. Huh? Why not?
If he loved Marvin Gaye, Trouble Man, there's not much.
You do know that he could easily just be being polite. You know that.
Sure. Sure, but it was also one of the most popular albums of all time.
I'm not arguing.
I'm just saying.
But I'm
It's
just
a good
saying
one.
that would be like saying, hey, Steve, here's Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. Give that a listen.
Okay, yeah, he'll probably love it. He'll probably
You know
love
what I mean? It's.
I will say this from a man who stepped out of the 1940s right into the 2000s. He befriended Sam pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, you got to talk about the different dynamics. Like just like D-Real said, that's a very obvious, glaring thing. And I guess he could have just never been that way. But I mean,
says a lot about his character.
Now,
Again, they were partners in the comic, so they have to make them partners in the movie. And it's
even
let's just get it over with. They need to be partners.
It says a lot for his character.
Pony writes a comment, and Mads Mama Bear, you co-signed it.
Now, wait a minute.
Cleavage changed Tony way more than anything else. The amount of cleavage that was available.
Yeah.
Bikinis changed. That was it.
Bikinis weren't a thing in the 40s.
They was
not the same. They covered a lot more
today.
skin.
Yeah, there was a lot way more covered up.
Women wore swimming caps and stuff.
Yep.
Women wear swimming caps now, but
not as like to go to the beach. No,
go online
and swim meet,
from the 1940s, and you'll see the difference.
All right, I'll do that. Make sure to do that one later today. I'm yet to hear a single person logically explain why they hate Captain Marvel. Oh, you're one of those shit disturber accounts, huh, Sean Glenn? I see now. Right. He's out here talking about Brie Larson, and it's a Celtic goddess name, and I'm like,
the Celtic goddess is
Captain
Brigid.
Marvel in the MCU. She was shoehorned in.
He did call me out, so I would love to respond to that.
He said that, why don't you like Brie Larson or Captain Marvel or what did she ever do to you? I'm telling you right now, and you can answer however you want to go, but this account is created
Bill
just for
loves
division.
Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. He loves her.
No, that guy's like, unrelated to that. This guy is really just every comment he's writing right now is like divisive, and like make each other fight each other using those internet hot topics that are triggering. So anyways, if you want to address him, go ahead and address him.
Yeah, but wait, some of you guys know I love playing with trolls.
It's just so easy.
I know, right? First of all, the Celtic goddess you're talking about was named Brigid, not Brie. But my particular distaste for this whole thing actually is more of I was never a fan of Carol Danvers' Captain Marvel. I am a fan of Rogue. She has always been one of my top tier Marvel characters. And for me, Carol Danvers is just a way to get the Rogue that we should have seen from the word go on the big screen.
Oh, so Mads, you didn't like Rogue pre-Captain Marvel power, or
the Bryan Singer Rogue?
What the Bryan Singer Rogue? Hell no.
No, I meant the comic
book
book
that little.
Oh, so you're talking about the movies version, not the comic book version.
Yeah, just the movies.
Oh, just the movies. Oh, okay.
What is her name? Anna Paquin.
Yeah, I can't stand her.
Did you like the Rogue cut of
she takes every powerful character and turns it into a damsel in distress. I want to bitch that little slut.
Okay. 25 of 33 Burning MCU questions. Did the Hulk ask Grandmaster to be introduced as the Incredible Hulk before every single one of his fights over there in Sakaar? I don't know. Hulk at that point, he was a little kid. Oh, I just get so angry. I don't like fire.
Did he introduce him as the Incredible Hulk? I don't remember.
When the Grandmaster introduced him for the Thor fight, he was like the Incredible Hulk, and Thor goes, "That's a friend from work."
I feel like he's Incredible Hulk because that's what he titled as. But I feel like the Grandmaster put the Incredible part in there because nowhere in the MCU has he ever been called or introduced as the Incredible Hulk before. He's just introduced as the Hulk, or we have a Hulk, So I think he just thought of putting Incredible right in front of it. That's the actual first time we heard the Incredible Hulk in the MCU was Thor Ragnarok.
You think so?
Yeah, because
there wasn't like a newspaper at all in the first Hulk movie that said the Incredible Hulk.
No, it was just the title of the movie.
He also said "heard."
Did
nobody spoke it?
I was thinking, if anything, Hulk would have asked Grandmaster to be introduced as the strongest Avenger, because that was that's literally how we started.
Yeah.
Bruce Banner goes strongest Avenger, so Hulk would kind of go, I should be the strongest Avenger. I don't think he would be introducing himself as Incredible.
Totally the Grandmaster.
I'm gonna put that on Grandmaster. It seemed like he anointed him that, even though we all knew it was just kind of one of those convenient movie things.
Right.
Hulk went from a kid to a unemployed single father. That's 25. Next, it's question 26. What should be the criteria for a phase to meet? Oh, you going?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go, guys. I just wanted to say goodbye. Jaded, Mama Bear, K Dot. Appreciate everybody. Chill. Thanks for having me on, man.
Peace.
Promote yourself. What's happening on Back of the Bus? What do you want to watch?
Dubs and L's. That's a very popular segment for us. So every Wednesdays, 10 a.m., show up for a Dubs and L's segments. Comic books, current events, music, movies, whatever. Random amalgamation of topics, but it's very popular. Tune in. We'll see you there.
Bye.
All right, guys.
See you.
They post every day at 10 o'clock in the morning. Question number 26 is, what should be the criteria for a phase? Well, Marcus brought up phases earlier. He called it phase 4, and this will be the ending of it with Black Panther. When I hear phase, all I hear is, okay, the screen at Comic-Con Hall H is only the yay high, yay big, so you can't put that many projects there. That's all that a phase is. They don't end with Avengers movies anymore. Phases don't necessarily conclude with a plot point. Sagas do. There was the Infinity Saga. They used stones. They got to the end game because, stones. They've got the Multiverse Saga, which they're calling 4, 5, 6, because what's happening with Loki will link over with what happens with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, yada, yada, yada. So a phase right now is nothing to me. Who wants to, who thinks I'm besmirching the good name of phases because they mean nothing?
Well, yeah, because they're only this how they end as far as the saga goes is what it's set up that way for the Infinity Saga. I didn't think Feige was going to make it a big thing like that. The Infinity Saga, the phases are just there to get to the end of this saga right here.
No, I don't. To me,
because the saga wasn't. Because look at Phase 4, right? Look at Phase 4. I know COVID happened, but look at how much that whole slate switched, right? Because if there's an order to it, they would have like, no, these films and stuff have to be released in a certain order. They switched the whole order of Phase 4, and everything was released in a totally different order than what was set up in the beginning. So
I don't know, because I would say that the phases are establishing the point of the phase, because like Phase 1 is literally introducing all of the main characters and ending with the Avengers. That was the point of Phase 1. Phase 2 is, a bunch of sequels and stuff and a bunch of secondary characters. So Phase 2's purpose was to just be a filler phase of movies. The third phase, Phase 3, is the one where it literally is all about finishing off the Infinity Saga storyline. Then when you get to Phase 4, it's just filler type story, filler movies. They don't actually lead to anything. So I think each phase is like, this is the phase in which the MCU is established. Phase 1, Phase 2, bunch of filler movies. Phase 3, the Infinity Saga. Phase 4, filler movies. Phase 5, supposed to be the Kang story arc.
But see, and that's the thing with Phase 4, right? Black Panther is supposed to end Phase 4. Black Panther is not a big team up movie like Avengers 1, but even this phase, which should be kind of setting up new heroes and stuff again, it doesn't even feel like that.
No.
Like we don't know what team they're going to be a part of. We know Miss Marvel's going to be an Avenger like she's in comics, but like we don't know what they're going to do with Wanda and all this, like, because they're not going to, because Black Panther's supposed to be the end of this phase, and they're all not going to show up in Black Panther for no big team up or whatever, because that's a Black Panther movie.
Well, I agree, Kate, but it's like they probably thought up with the concept of Phase 1, not expecting a Phase 2 or a Phase 3. So now they're kind of locked into it. So now it's like, we're just calling them phases because
I'm agreeing.
We accidentally said that, in the beginning. So
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I just
Now
wish
it's
Phase 4 was a lot more focused, like something like Phase 1. You know, it had a clear focus.
It had
All
a
right,
focus.
we
It
need
had a
to set
focus.
up these heroes, have them team up in a big thing, and we introduced the main big boss, which is Thanos, and you set it up for us to see them eventually fight. Like Kang got set up pretty early in this phase. He got set up in Loki. He didn't get set up again, which is different. You know, at least they set up. We're going to be dealing with Kang. He's the big bad for Phase 4, 5, and 6. But I don't know. It's just the way the Avengers, the Phase 1 did it. Just made more sense to do. Like,
well, because it was the only one that was actually planned. Phase 2, because again, you got Phase 2, and it was like, oh look, Iron Man was more successful than we thought. Let's make a sequel. You know,
Well,
Captain
yeah.
America was more successful. Let's make a sequel. Thor was successful. Let's make a sequel. So it was
I think by the time we had got to Thor, they knew they were going towards Avengers. They had Agent Coulson in the movie. It was an Iron Man. There was a plan.
Right. There was a plan, but I'm just saying.
It was a dream. Even Iron Man 1, because Nick Fury was there. They did dream that they'd get to Avengers.
Right. I'm
I've
just
heard
saying.
Kevin Feige. You go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying is that the phase 1 was an actual phase because it actually was planned. But then they just went, we're just going to use the term, we're going to do whatever the hell we want. It's irrelevant.
Oh, yeah. Mama Bear, you're fighting in the comment section. You want to add anything?
First of all, you step away from Trinity.
What did Trinity do?
He's calling Trinity Oscar the Grouch.
And he called him a bot.
Yeah. Well, he is a bot.
He's not a real person with real emotions and human interactions.
You can sit there and pretend that you're an ogre, but Rose Bay on the other name.
Well, that's not fair because if you're saying a bot is human without human emotions, then that means I'm a bot. So it's like that's not fair.
You don't have human emotions.
Too. I don't care.
I fake human emotions.
God. Tony says that Phase 4 to me is the ushering in of new characters to the universe. Okay. That's valid, but then Ironheart is in Phase 5. Oh no, I'm wrong because she's introduced in Phase 4 in Wakanda Forever. All right, you got me, Tony. There, we can now brand the phase as the introduction phase.
Yeah, and even though other phases are going to introduce new characters, like
but every phase introduce new characters.
Yeah, this phase specifically is not like setting up who's going to be our heavy hitters, our team, like the people we need to see really lead to things. Like the Avengers led Phase 1, 2, and 3 as the main like tentpole characters that we're focusing on the most. You have Ant-Man, all these other subdivisions, Black Panther.
Well, no, hold on. That's not fair because Ant-Man actually served a purpose long term. You needed the Ant-Man movie. You didn't really need Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nah, what?
They had an Infinity Stone.
Hank in his quantum physics.
Right. I'm just saying is that with the Ant-Man, you had the quantum realm. You had the ability. It was from Ant-Man that you got the time machine, the quantum realm. So that was kind of important, overarching story-wise. Guardians of the Galaxy was just a throwaway.
I mean, the Guardians is integral just for Gamora and Thanos is Gamora, Nebula, and Thanos is
Oh yeah, but that was so pathetically forced. I mean, yeah, he really loved her all that time. Yeah, sure, okay, whatever.
Okay, you finally got an answer.
But that's the thing with Gamora and Nebula, right? The only way to introduce them is through the Guardians, so you can't just hey, let's do it, Gamora.
Why not? You could just have had Gamora, just like you had.
Okay, Big Bro. He says, "What's up, y'all?"
I mean, but I think
boy turned 25 today.
Introduce the whole Guardians team too.
Happy birthday!
But again, the Guardians team are on the.
K-Dot doesn't care. K-Dot's like, this guy's older than me. What a geezer!
It's the Guardians.
Happy birthday, Big Bro.
Big Bro is a
same
Jaded fanboy. Do you want to acknowledge Big Brell's comment section? I'm very happy that 25 rotations around the sun has been completed. Let's go 4 more. No, 4 more. That means you're 125. Well, 125. Hell yeah, that's right.
Hey, if you like Superman, you can turn back time. Just go around the planet, baby.
I mean, it's a great age for females, but that I'm interested in. But I don't really care.
Oh,
if
you
a
know what,
guy
Jaded?
is
I
25.
apologize. I don't actually want your answer to that. Continue. You were saying about Ant-Man Quantumania. That was introduced there. Thor.
He's 25. I don't care. I'm just saying is that Ant-Man was more of a Ant-Man actually had a plan long term. Guardians of the Galaxy didn't. Shang-Chi, by the looks of it, doesn't really have a long-term purpose other than introducing the character. You have the Black Widow movie, really has no purpose other than to introduce Yelena.
I think specifically Shang-Chi just might simply just him because of what they set up with the rings and that his director is directing Avengers.
Yeah.
And you know, again, it might actually be integral, but
right. Yeah, we don't know
I'm not
yet.
saying it isn't.
I have a feeling he will be for sure out of Phase 4. He's gonna be super integral.
I hope so.
The
I mean,
character roles are not defined as in earlier phases. They are not as defined.
Definitely, yeah.
Right, like we don't know what their eventual purpose. Like we knew what Tony's purpose was gonna be.
We knew what Tony's purpose was. We knew what Captain America's purpose was. We didn't really know Hulk's because God knows what happened to Hulk. I don't think
I forgot a purpose.
There's no if that was on purpose, then that's even worse.
Well, okay. Hulk's purpose was to snap, just because that gamma radiation, but that's not like a good purpose for them to set up. That's like kind of lame.
No, I'm just saying if their purpose was to make him become Professor Hulk all along, then screw in the MCU and screw Kevin Feige.
We have a replacement for every single Avenger in the setup of the magical jewelry / multiverse crisis. What are you guys going on about? If this phase is clear, this phase is clear as day to me.
No, I understand. Like every phase has a reason, and that's why I'm saying that's why they're called phases. There's a reason for them, but it's.
I wouldn't call this phase clear as day.
I wouldn't say clear.
If this phase was clear as day,
A reboot, it's a reset, man. It's about Moon Knight now, and Shang-Chi and all these Eternals we were introduced to. Kamala is a brand new character.
America Chavez.
Because look what the end of this movie's doing, right? Kang should be the focus villain of this phase, right? But if those leaks are true, they're introducing Doctor Doom at the end of Phase 4. So there's going to be two big bad villains to focus on.
Yeah,
when Doctor Doom himself should get his own phase, 7, 8, and 9.
Because again, like even with Thanos, like even if you take the first 3 phases, you at least had Thanos cameos popping up every once in a while.
Yeah.
There's no Kang cameos. There's no Kang cameos. Sorry.
Question 27 of 33 Burning MCU Questions. Are Valkyrie and Jane best friends? They had 6 months together before Thor came back to Earth.
It was
the way that they were listening to some of the music, their Bluetooth little speaker.
Wait, they was together for 6 months? That was like a week or something.
That they said 6 months. That's how long ago she picked up the hammer, which satisfied me for like how she was fighting, and I'm like, well, probably because she learned these tricks from watching you, Thor, and from practicing it in 6 months. Valkyrie and Jane are not best friends.
I mean, they were together for 6 months. I mean, they're friends. I can't say best friends, but they're friends. I don't know about best friends.
Well, it's not like they've actually shown Valkyrie with any other friends, and
Valkyrie's best friend.
Wait a minute,
Jane.
Wait a minute.
Jane's best friend is Darcy.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute.
Huh.
Jane should have been dead within those 6 months if the hammer was draining all of her power and sucking her dry.
It just happily turned out that the day she died was during this movie.
No, K-Dot. using the power was causing, as long as she stayed Thor, it was reverting back to human that would that amplified it. So if during those 6 months she stayed as Thor, or whatever you want to call her, then she would have been fine. It's when she reverted back to human that was the problem.
But that's staying in the movie, and you saw it.
Oh yeah, but like that's the only plot hole.
Yeah,
that's the only plot hole to worry about.
No, because remember they wasn't making it even clear. Because remember when she would throw the hammer would be away from her, and she still be She-Thor. But then at one point she throws the hammer away, and she's like human.
She-Thor,
Lady Thor,
She-Thor, whatever you want to call her.
Lady Thor, She-Thor.
Lady Thor.
I call her Dr. Jane Foster.
There you go.
She's not Thor, so I mean,
I'm Dr. Jane Foster. Yes, Dr. Jane Foster.
Okay, from the female perspective, they were definitely tight. Whether
But
best friends or not, that's hard to say, but they
was definitely friends.
that's probably the closest thing Valkyrie's had to a friend in
millennia.
easily.
Aggressively
She
relaxing
just
says,
purposely pushed everybody away.
if we're looking at the buildup of Thanos versus Kang, I would argue we have seen more screen time of Kang than Thanos got early on. That's a great argument to make.
Yeah, but that's only if you watch the show. That's
What do you mean? They put out the show. Yeah, it's just like that's only if you watch the
but
movie.
we only saw Kang.
Yeah, that's the point.
One episode of Loki. He only showed up in one.
He's only showing up on an episode of Loki, and he had what 10 minutes of screen time. He had one scene. You're gonna.
But Thanos had 3 appearances, and they were all short.
But they were all relevant to the progression of the story.
Kang's appearance was relevant to the progression.
We don't know we don't know how.
All right, it's this. All right, so this is the multiverse saga, right? They set it up in No Way Home, kind of in Doctor Strange and Loki, right? The Black Panther 2 has to end where it has something to do with the multiverse. It's about the multiverse. Avengers 1 ended up, setting up a team and establishing the big bad villain is Thanos. I'm not saying he has to, but you have to kind of show Kang in Black Panther 2.
He
has to, because that's ending phase 4, which is setting up where 5 and 6 is going to go.
Yeah,
and you have to do something with the multiverse and Kang, but I don't think that's the right movie to do that in. I think it should have been like a team up movie. Doesn't have to be an Avengers team up movie, but a team up something like I don't know. It doesn't have to be an Avengers movie, just a team up.
We're still on that phase question. It's a very hot topic here on Chillmonger's 33 questions.
It's important, man.
It is a very relevant question because I just think it's a term that they just got locked in with and they're just trying to justify it.
I'd co-sign that. 28 is, was it a good decision to reveal that Michelle Jones's middle name is Mary Jane? When we first learned about her in Homecoming, Michelle, all the way. Then at the end she goes, you can call me MJ. So fine. They never advertised MJ for the whole first movie, but we all watched it. We go MJ. Into the second movie, Far From Home, she's called MJ consistently. And then the third movie, they double down. They go, your middle name is Mary Jane. What?
To me, it wasn't a bad nod. It was a useless nod because this isn't Mary Jane at all. This is Michelle Jones, totally different character. I mean, it's not like they try to dye her hair and make her red to like try and say this is Mary Jane.
Yeah, it
was just useless. I mean, useless entirely.
Complete apathy. Useless.
It's not bad, but it was just a useless nod to something.
And it defeats the purpose. You introduced a new character and then go, no, technically she's still supposed to be somehow connected to Mary Jane. It's like,
right.
Do one or do the other. Don't half-ass both ways.
Yeah, it was pure plot device.
Yeah.
And
didn't need it. Seemed unnecessary.
And throughout the movie, he's calling her MJ. That's like, Mary Jane
Like
Watson.
if she had said my middle name is MJ, and then the next day she comes out with red hair and goes, I just felt like changing my hair color, then you're actually doing something with it. Then you're actually doing something. It's just some like tokenism. Oh, look, we're referencing the comic book. Please think that we actually know what we're doing.
Didn't need to be done at that point. Yep. Way too. Oh, it was over. 29 is, do you expect Loki season 2 to explain Kamala Khan's time travel? Hell no. You think they know what's going on here? I saw an interview with Iman Vellani. She was on New Rockstars, and she asked the question on set, like, how is this going to make sense because of the time travel rules that we're supposed to be introduced to?
Oh, she said that?
She asked that. Yeah, that's what she said too.
She's amazing.
Right?
This is why she's the best character of Phase 4. Shouts out Kamala Khan. That actor is amazing. She needs to take over for Kevin Feige.
That's the future
She's
president.
asking real questions. She's asking jaded fanboy questions.
Do any one of you expect Loki season 2 to explain her time travel?
But she really said that? You're not joking with me?
Yeah. Eric Voss, like a 30-minute interview on New Rockstars.
Wow.
It was like a week ago.
Let me check it out. But
Now?
she's tight.
They don't know.
No, not now, but I'm gonna check it out later. She's tight, bro. I like her. She's tight. She's asking good questions. She's different. Like no other actors really do this with these movies and stuff. Like kind of question the logic of it, but not bash it, but like kind of question it a little bit, you know. She's not bashing the product, but
Yeah, well, she
she's
guess what?
questioning
I
it.
don't think there's ever. After she said that, she got a talking to by certain Disney execs, and I don't think she's ever going to mention anything like that ever again.
No. She's hard. She think.
Oh
What?
yeah,
She's over here fighting the 616 thing. She's
right.
out.
Yeah, she went at Feige on the 616. I don't think they fight like they go back and forth.
Like Kevin Feige's gonna look at her as
They go back and forth about it. Like she's
they go back and
challenging.
forth.
He's
I
like,
like
she's
that
coming
she's-
after my
I
job.
like that she's challenging, not just going like, all right, this is fine. Let's just run with it. She can't change it because she is an actor, but at least bringing up these type of questions, it's good to see for once. Finally, shit.
They're just gonna focus on Loki stories. Yeah. Skid says her name was Michelle Jones Watson in the movie.
What?
Oh, my mistake. I said Mary Jane. Okay, thanks for correcting me. I don't remember her being called Mary Jane. It was Michelle Jones Watson. Thanks. But yeah, same idea.
Oh
those-
yeah.
Thank
Wait,
you for
no.
the correction. Nope to what? Oh yeah, will they address the time travel thing? Okay. And then
The MCU has no idea. The
It won't.
MCU loves the fact that they have it so convoluted now that
Right,
they can
Trinity.
do whatever the heck they want, and you can't challenge it because there's no rules. So why, if they try to explain it, they give away their ace in the hole of being able to do whatever the heck they want. So
They got like
gets it.
3 different means of. They have Kamala Khan's time travel, the Loki time travel. It's No Way Home in a sense, almost weird time travel, reality hopping.
oh yeah, you got multiple timelines, you got alternate timelines, you got multiple universes, you got alternate timeline, you got you just got everything that is necessary to be able to do whatever you want.
That's why the only issue I have with really the Loki time travel in the way they set it up is that you can't have changed your past or your future, which is annoying because it's like I understand they don't want to do it because if they do that, you have to do so much writing to they'll be like take the risk and just do it. Like
Yeah.
show some actual consequence. Like do it, take the risk and do it. Like that would show so much consequences. If you do one slight thing in the past, anything, it drastically changes the future. That's why it would have made Endgame so much more compelling, or if the time travel stuff, if they had that.
I'm with MCU. MCU has no rules because the MCU rules. Sound logic. Why are we fighting the MCU and their rules? At least we have a U. You guys have DC. You guys got rid of comics. Like, the word comics is not associated with DC anymore.
I mean,
which is
I don't
so
blame
dumb.
it. I don't blame.
When you
'cause
hear
it-
DC, you think about politics. You think about the place in Washington. That area.
No, but
Washington DC.
But calling it DC Comics is always redundant because he has comics in it twice. Because DC is just a little.
DC stands for Detective Comics.
Yeah.
Well, Detective Comics. Maybe they could call it something else, like Justice League.
But that's we all got so used to saying DC Comics that it's just like. Ugh. But now just calling it DC.
I don't know,
Yeah.
DC Justice.
Nah.
They could do a soft thing because wrestling, they have this company called Total Nonstop Action, TNA. And they're like, no, we don't want to be called TNA. We like Impact Wrestling. So they called their show Impact for like 10 years and then changed the name of the whole company to Impact Wrestling. So it was a soft transition. And I feel like you can do that too with DC. Jared says that Iman Vellani is the MCU's Triple H. That's right. She's coming. Give it a few years.
Hey, Feige's gonna retire early, and she is gonna magically take over all of a sudden.
It's gonna be a scandal. It might be that they got
Kevin
so many
Feige has
stories going.
disappeared. Iman
Yeah.
Vellani will be taking over.
No, she's gonna come up with a chair when his back is turned, and I knew you'd love that one.
What's her finishing move? Iman Vellani's finishing move is like the Markham Mayhem.
Hey, she's while Kevin Feige's in the hospital injured, she's gonna go there and go like, you know what? If you tell anybody what
I
happened,
could see her doing a swanton bomb.
I'll make sure you disappear from the face of this earth.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
She
ma'am.
did a swanton bomb when she was jumping out of her bedroom into the branch in that episode, and then she
Yeah.
fell. Yeah, it was a swanton right there.
Swanton, yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman, was in the canceled Batgirl movie. Oh man, hey, listen, that movie's gonna leak. Every movie leaks, guys. They're not allowed to make money from it, but somebody is gonna get the thing, USB, put it in his pocket, come out of DC, Warner Brothers Studios. And
I kind of want to see somebody leak it because you're already leaking. Like, might as well leak the movie. Just leak it. You can't make profit off it. Just leak it for the culture.
Oh God, please! That's like saying Squirrel Girl will save the MCU.
Wolf Warner's the #1 Moon Girl fan in the world.
Squirrel Girl did beat up Thanos in the comics with Army of Squirrels.
No, we did. No, she didn't because it happened off panel.
Okay? Don't fight Moon Girl, okay? Moon Girl is the MCU.
Powerful. Moon Girl is not the MCU.
Luna
Moon
Lafayette.
Girl is, okay, love it. First of all, Moon Girl is a gender swap because it used to be Moon Boy. And he used to be a Neanderthal, and that's why he had a giant dinosaur.
But Jaden, remember before we started the stream, we were just talking about Green Lantern and how I said that I don't want Hal Jordan to be completely replaced by Jon Stewart, and they stopped doing Hal Jordan stories because then people will always be able to say, well, the success of Jon Stewart came at the expense of Hal. You just said right now with Moon Girl why I don't want that scenario, because you just told me right now, we just said it, that Moon Girl came at the expense of Moon Boy, used to be another franchise.
No. There's a difference though. Because with the Green Lantern, same power ring. With Moon Girl, totally different character. Moon Girl isn't a female Neanderthal. She is a brilliant scientist. She's an entirely different character. She did not need to be called Moon Girl. She could have been her own. She could have been her own unique character. They just went, oh yeah, we just want to have her the dinosaur, so we're just gonna copy. Yeah. So no, this is more along the lines of, instead of actually making an original character, they are literally race swapping an established white character and made her black. So no,
and also this is why the Green Lanterns is, as a title, is so different from every other hero. They're literally a police force. Like, there's a planet in the comics that's a Green Lantern. There's a cat that's a Red Lantern.
Yeah,
it's like the Nova Corps for Marvel. The Nova Corps is the universal police.
Yeah, but don't they have a limit of how many per sector can get a ring? There's a little bit too many from the planet Earth.
They used to, but now you got like Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, Hal, Kyle Rayner, John. So that rule has been broken and changed.
That rule has been broken numerous times.
Yeah, it used to be one person per sector, but if you think about it, I mean, that doesn't really make any sense because with the amount of, it's easy for Hal because there's no people on Mars. Well, there's Martians, but there's no people on Venus and other planets.
What was the name of the Green Lantern that was a comic relief? He looked like a furry dog.
I know
Kilowog. That's all.
No, Kilowog was the trainer. Oh shoot, because it was in the Justice League comics from the 90s. He was basically a comic relief. He got to be a Green Lantern because his uncle was a very he was a oh shoot, what was the name of that?
Moon Boy is a separate race of human-like creatures from another dimension. Okay, well, he is different enough. The name still stuck. They just gave her Devil Dinosaur as a sidekick. There was no race swapping involved.
That's why when I see people try to use the Green Lanterns as an example compared to stuff like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Moon Boy, Daredevil, is that the Green Lantern's a police force. It's just like police in real life. Anybody can be a cop. It's no real nothing unique about being a cop. Yeah, you're officer, blah blah blah, with a badge number.
The Green Lantern.
The Green Lanterns aren't special. I'm not saying each member isn't special, but like their name is not as
unique anymore
as the Batman, Superman. Because if Superman was created as a police force and everybody was just called Superman, Super Chick, or whatever,
Invincible. Sorry.
Hey now, hey there.
Shots fired.
Well, no, Invincible is basically a not a police force, but like
it's a knockoff.
Yeah.
30. When was Tony going to make Morgan her own suit? I think 16-year-olds get to drive because we can trust them behind the wheel of a car. I think that once you stop growing, he's like, okay, that's your height. I got the measurements. Here's what your suit can do. They're not all going to be violent, sort of shooting blasts out of the hands, but he is going to give her a suit Once she
I don't
becomes
know.
the
I
age
don't
of
think he would have
16.
gave her. I don't think he would have gave her a suit, but I think he would have encouraged her to become an adventurer like him, and she would have, out of rebellion, made her own suit and want to be like her dad.
Well,
I
he
do her
wouldn't
own
want to
suit.
protect her with her own suit that could
No,
fly
yeah, he would
and
want
keep
to.
her safe.
Well, because he can do that. Yeah, I mean, he'll create like defenses at the home and stuff, but not give her a.
Well, no, he can do what he did with Pepper Potts. It's that it's like an emergency thing. It's not like he built a suit specifically for Pepper Potts
To be a
use all
hero.
the time, to be a hero. It's just that in case she's ever in danger, one of the suits just automatically goes to her to protect her.
Yeah, guaranteed. He had one waiting for Morgan. You remember he did say he wanted to put a suit around the world.
Right.
He just put it around his own world.
Right.
Oh,
That's actually kind of cute.
very cute. Hopefully
I would
never.
say sappy, but you can go cute. That's fine.
Sappy's fine too.
He
Make it
definitely
focus.
would have encouraged her. Yeah. WB still has no clue what to do with them in live action. It should be one of the easiest stories to adapt, in my opinion. I would agree.
Oh,
He
hold
would-
on. Even though Tony may have encouraged it, do you think Pepper would have encouraged her daughter to want to have the suit?
Pepper got her rescue armor. She's like, go make a rescue armor for our daughter.
Yeah,
too."
Right, a rescue armor.
Pepper went back
But I'm
on her.
saying,
Where,
I don't think Pepper. I think Pepper might have a little issue with her trying to be a superhero and trying to go on adventures.
BRI said he wouldn't have to measure her because the suit is nanotech. That's a great point.
Yeah, but he might only be doing it for him, though. It might not be something he's gonna.
Okay, hold on. Sorry to barge in here like this, Chill, but Jaded,
Oh,
you
no.
by your own admission said that Moon Girl is not a gender swapped character because she's not a Neanderthal. That by virtue of that fact alone, she is not a gender swapped character of Moon Boy.
Why not? Moon
What do you
Boy.
mean why not? Because she's
Moon
not
Boy.
a,
Hold on. The title of the comic used to be.
if
wait a
she
minute.
was if she
The
was
title of the
gender
comic
swapped,
book used to
she
be
would be a
Moon
Neanderthal.
Boy and Devil Dinosaur.
Yes. And
What's the
now
name of the
she
comic
is the
book
one
now?
that is partnered with Devil Dinosaur. So
There you
they just
go.
kept the moon and gave it to her. She is
Yeah,
not a
and
gender
if they
swapped
replaced the
version of
word
character.
boy with girl.
If she was a gender swapped version of the character, then she would be a Neanderthal. She is not a Neanderthal.
Yeah, so they did both. They gender swapped the character and
No.
they changed the characters completely.
Dude,
They
that would
did
be like
both.
that would be like somebody, like, let's say for some reason, whatever happened, I decide to sell my store. A
Okay.
chick buys my store. Does that mean
Okay.
she's a gender swap version of me because she's running the store?
Is
No.
hold on, is her
No, it doesn't. That's not how that works. She is a completely original character. She is not a Neanderthal like Moon Boy was.
Is Spider-Gwen not just a gender swapped version of Spider-Man? Spider-Gwen. What's Spider-Gwen? Oh, well, she's not called Spider-Man, she's called Spider-Gwen. But she is literally designed to be a female version of Spider-Man. So I'm sorry, just like it worked with Spider-Gwen.
Was Moon Boy a genius?
Doesn't
And
matter.
It does matter because you are right. Spider-Gwen is a derivative of Spider-Man.
Okay, so Moon Girl's a derivative of Moon Boy then. I
No,
used the wrong word. Then I used the wrong word.
You just said that if she
No, then
was
I'm
a
agreeing with you.
Neanderthal, you would have a point.
Hold
You
on.
don't have a point.
Then I'm agreeing with you. She's not a gender swap. She's a derivative. I'm agreeing with you.
She's not derivative because then
Why
she would be a
not?
Neanderthal.
So
There are two fundamental differences with the character. Moon Boy is what he was. She is what she is. That's it. That's all you need to
Okay.
know. Right?
But
No, it's not the same.
Well-
They're not the same. The only
Well,
thing they share in common is that
Is
they
the
both
name.
ride with Devil Dinosaur. No, not the name. Is they both ride with Devil Dinosaur. That's it. So
Yes.
you know what? Let's say, how about this? Devil Dinosaur is the mantle. Whoever rides with him gets the mantle of Moon. Moon Man, Moon Woman, Moon Girl, Moon Cousin, Moon Uncle, whatever. Who the hell cares?
But that's not
the
why
mantle
Moon Boy
right
is
there.
called Moon Boy. Okay, that would work if that's why Moon Boy was called Moon Boy. But that's not why Moon Boy is called Moon Boy. Devil Dinosaur didn't pick Devil Dinosaur didn't pick Moon Boy.
How do you know that? Did you
Because
see that
that's how it
issue?
worked
Did
in
you
the
see the
comics.
issue where it happened?
They just with my limited memory of Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur, they were just partners. They just grew up. He just grew up with Devil Dinosaur. He just grew up with them.
Right. And
Hey, guys.
whomever is partnered with him assumes the mantle of Moon. Whatever
But she
they
didn't
are.
call herself.
They are not.
Oh.
She is not a derivative. She is not a gender swap. She is an original character.
Lunella, lunar, head in clouds. Yeah, get him, dude. Please tell us why Moon.
You can twist it to however logic makes you feel better, but you know that they are literally
Whatever.
copying
It's
off
just
of,
logic.
you
It's just
know,
logic. Facts are facts, and logic is
know.
logic. Okay. There
You
is no
know
twisting of anything.
that they are banking off of the original title of Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur. You know that's where it's from. You
But
know
that's not
that.
a gender swap.
Thank
Okay,
you.
granted, it's not a gender swap; it's a derivative or whatever
So
you
were
want to
you
call
wrong?
it. But you know
So
it's
were you
literally.
wrong? So were you wrong?
Yeah, I was wrong. That's fine.
Okay, my work here is
Okay.
Love you, Mike.
I'm gonna share my screen because someone reminded me that I actually put up a poll a few moments ago earlier in the show. It was question number 10, and we were asking the question of Marc, Spectre, it was Jake Lockley, it was Stephen Grant, and who would make the best dates. And the answer to that poll question, which I've ended, should be here. What? I skipped it. Right. Oh, I have a slow computer today.
Steven got 40%, Jake got 34%, and Mark got 25%.
Oh, I was closer than I expected.
Steven was the correct answer. Steven was the number one
Steven was
answer.
the correct answer.
Okay, back to the show, which is, yeah, great debate. Both are correct. It was just called Devil Dinosaur. Rogue Comics is correct. Okay.
Whatever makes you feel better, that's good.
He didn't have to leave. He could join and answer question number 30.
His job, because he's probably got
He's
customers,
working.
so he can't stick around.
Did everybody touch this one?
I believe so. Like I said, I guaranteed he has a suit for him. He probably has a few plans. He probably set it up as soon as he found out Pepper was pregnant.
Oh yeah.
He
31.
He loves to tinker.
Who is the most important woman in T'Challa's life?
Mama.
Yeah, that was it. That's easy.
The thing is, because that's his stepmom, what do you call it
No,
when they're married?
I meant me. Sorry.
Oh,
No, actually, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
You had to ask.
I would go and gave it to Shuri.
no.
Nakia?
No.
Okoye?
All of them. His sister, his mom, Nakia, they're all important.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, bro, it's just like in real life. If my mom and my girlfriend and probably my sisters are the most important women in my life, I don't have a specific one.
She's been out of his life for so long.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If there's a bomb going off and all three women are in the room, he's going after mom. He's going after mom.
Well, yeah, he's gonna chase out a specific one first.
The thing is, though, Ramonda is not his birth mother. That's who T'Chaka married afterwards, and that's Shuri's mother. I feel like that separation is enough.
But she raised him, though.
Raised from when, though? Raising is different.
I don't know
You're
how
3,
long
4, 5, 6, those formative years. I'll give you that. But once you're like already a teenager, and no, actually, T'Chaka raised him.
Still, this is the closest thing to a parent that he has left.
I'm giving that to Shuri because he parented Shuri. He's so much older than her that he assisted in raising that child. He trusts her with the technological advancements of the nation. He gave that to her.
Because she created it. If somebody else had done it, he would have trusted that person.
He trusts her with the role, though. He promoted her to that.
That's because she's able to have created the technology.
And is that not important when you're out there fighting and killing Zemo and Bucky and hunting? You need Shuri.
But being the person who created the tech and being his sister are not mutually exclusive.
That just makes her important. She's a woman. She's important. She qualifies.
I am not sure, Daryl. Can you actually check that up?
at her quinceañera. Come on, Sergio.
Though if he was, I'm gonna say if he was gonna, had the chance only to save one of them, he'd probably pick the one that touches his Ghiblies.
She doesn't touch his Ghiblies though. Like all we've seen is a kiss at the end of the movie. That's all. No Ghibli touching.
Well, they're not gonna show us the Ghibli touching. That's a completely different.
There was
movie.
2 years in canon between Black Panther and Infinity War. There could have been Ghibli touching. The Ghibli tribe. BRI Wood says, if it is a new character, wouldn't they be in the same universe? We're done with that conversation.
Yeah, that's over. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Is she his stepmother in the MCU? That's a good question, D. Stiesel.
Yeah, we don't know if she's the biological or the step, but I think she could be the stepmother.
You can't go with
Storm.
Storm
is not in the MCU yet.
You answered why exactly in the very next line. No.
Or maybe she is the stepmother because they don't really, in the first movie, T'Challa and his mother don't really share a lot of scenes together. Like, I'm not saying she's not a big part of his life, like he doesn't care about her. But in a lot of these movies, there's a lot with these, especially the parents are there. They do their best to show the relationship between those two parents.
Oh my god!
Child. They didn't really put a lot of emphasis on it or care to show much.
There you go. He literally, if you're talking about trust, he literally trusts Okoye with his life.
You know what? Okoye gets to tease him. Don't freeze. She's talking that way to the king. Ooh.
There's a closeness.
There's something there.
Because she was the one who trained our king. So,
hey, Mike, you better watch Thor: Love and Thunder one more time. There was we saw some Ghiblies.
But that goes with any Wanted movie.
Rock Ghiblies.
T'Challa is shagging Namor's wife behind his back. Probably not because that's comic accurate. I mean, that made Killmonger his cousin in the MCU. And when he said, "Hey, auntie," didn't that trigger T'Challa? He's like, "That's not your auntie. She's not the real one." He doesn't care about Ramona.
He didn't say nothing when that happened.
In my head, he said something. In my head, he's like, "All right, that's it. Waterfall at 5 o'clock."
Okay, yep. Looking it up, yes, she is the stepmother in the MCU.
In the MCU, what's their proof? What does it just say that on the website with no actual evidence?
That's just an official statement. It's irrelevant.
It's just an official statement.
No, it's
they change those all the time.
They can change it because they've changed official statements numerous times, and they've backtracked on official statements before. So,
Allah had mom stay with M'Baku in his castle and let Shuri come to the fight in Black Panther 1. So I say his mom. Yeah, what was the mom going to do? Fight? Like, she probably had blasters of her own if she needed them. So what was the website you used, Mama Bear?
Google.
Oh. 32. Why don't they call it Wasp?
I mean, I'm getting called out for it anyway. Use Google, so,
Right. We're in a world of women empowerment, and we're all about titling movies to make it equal. It's the Ant-Man franchise, isn't it? It's not the Ant-Man and Wasp
franchise.
That's why it's called Ant-Man and Wasp.
Ant-Man was the primary character in that movie franchise, so yeah, he gets top billing.
I mean, in the first, second, I'll be honest with you, Wasp was so much better than him. I was like, get Scott out of here.
Oh, please.
She was so much better than Scott. Scott was so mid in the second movie.
You needed him to be able to turn into Giant Man because of that movie. I mean, give me a break.
I'll be honest, and that Giant Man stuff was unnecessary in the second movie.
Doesn't matter. It's to establish the fact that he was able to do it. So that way in, what was it? Not Civil, was it Civil War? No. The one where he
Civil
becomes...
War.
No.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
The airport fight.
He did. Yeah, the airport fight. Again, it linked to that. I mean, Wasp wasn't even... they didn't even ask Wasp to help. That's how insignificant she is.
Because they didn't know about Wasp. And also...
because Scott wouldn't have... Because Scott wouldn't
like
have gone, hey, let's get some extra help.
They don't like the Avengers. They don't like Tony Stark. Hank and his daughter. They don't mess with them. So they wouldn't have helped anyways. Scott's going to help because he doesn't have those allegiances like that.
Yeah, because when it comes to saving the world, why would you pick sides? Okay, sure.
Peep Pool says, good question 32. Wasp created the Avengers in the comics and was the first leader of the Avengers. So she should have been the leader in the MCU, but we have the MCU.
I mean, the first things we should have
Not
been
the
Hank
MCU.
Pym and Janiverse. It should have been them first.
Wasp was the first leader of the Avengers.
And then Sean Glenn writes here, a few hours later, that Wasp was the first leader of the Avengers in the comics.
Okay, you do know
And he
that.
also, and Sean Glenn also says the MCU we call the MHU. Is Sean Glenn this fake account here who's just stoking
Hold on.
division? Hold on, Jada
It's
Fanboy.
the
Hold on,
same
Jada Fanboy.
picture.
Is it like what's going on here? Why are there accounts being made with these triggering words like the MHU, the MCU, with the same photo? People, and this guy wrote his comment like at 10 o'clock when I made this a live public video, and then same photo here with Sean Glenn using the same verbiage. Perhaps this is not a real account. Perhaps I was not supposed to notice that. Perhaps that's Sean Glenn and People. Funny name, first of all. People, I like it, but still, you know. Like,
yeah, that answers my question about age, though.
No, because you could be 45 and you were still immature guys.
I don't even think it's like a 45 guy immature. I really think that there are like government funded, whether it's governments here in this side of the world or foreign, but there are really people trying to get you and me and everyone to hate each other. They use entertainment like Star Wars, Marvel, and these Lord of the Rings.
Yes, but that also is part of the deal of being online. A lot of people, like, I don't know, Peep Pool, have this thing, called keyboard cojones.
Yeah.
Where they're hiding behind a screen so they feel more secure in putting up their stupid opinions.
Really think it's I think, and it's much easier for me to think that it is just people from like with a high authority doing this because that's the way that we're gonna keep them oppressed. Like if we all united and all had like the same sort of mindset on things, it would be better. Trinity says it's bots.
Okay, first of all, my opinions alone are divisive enough. I don't need help from anybody on outside source. Okay, I keep telling everybody all the movies you love suck and they're ridiculous. I don't need help. I'm good enough on my own. Okay,
Jada, do me a favor. Record a video of you going through the grocery store because I want to see how angry you get in there.
This used to be $2.99. Now it's $3.
No, you know what I get mad at is when my favorite food is discontinued. Me and my son, the dad's soft chocolate chip cookies, when they discontinued them, me and my son, we had a fit for like months. We were looking all over for them. Pardon?
I believe that. I really wish I could have seen your reaction to when you saw that they were making like fruit flavored KD and that kind of stuff for Valentine's Day.
Or all the different flavored Special K's and stuff like that. And it was
seriously. That would be hilarious to watch.
Oh my god, this is
funny. I appreciate
in regards to the fact that Wasp created the Avengers. First of all, the Avengers had a rotating leadership, so the fact that she was the first is irrelevant because they rotated leaders. So there is no official leader of the Avengers.
I'm going to say in response to Trinity, I have an excellent chocolate chip cookie recipe. It is on my channel. Feel free to go check it out. I also have bacon pancakes there.
Ooh, bacon pancakes. Okay.
I am a former chef, so I did some recipes.
Time. Saves time. I'm saying it just saves time instead of making them separately. Just
and this is completely because of Perp. I did go for a while there where I was making food inspired by, cartoons, whatever, anime thing.
I don't mad we can't get Rice Krispie square treats here in Canada.
Right?
I don't want to know what your cat dog recipe is, Mads.
I didn't do a lot of them, and but I had to do the bacon pancakes.
Mm-hmm. We are still on 32. Again, Wasp and Ant-Man. It's because Ant-Man is the name of the franchise, and all of this motioning towards like a more woman empowered, oriented, but like higher position. It's all fake. It is none of it is actual like with foundation. None of it is actual real steps forward. Like,
If that was the case, they'd just have a Wasp movie
they
because
should have a Wasp movie. That's right. And I was
movie.
gonna go to Monica Rambeau. I love her. I think that she's got so much comic book lore that you can adapt, and she's a strong character. Unlike Shuri, who has 4 comics where she's the Black Panther called Claws of the Panther. Every other comic called Black Panther with her in it as the Black Panther also has T'Challa in it, and he's the main focus. Just saying. And then we got Monica Rambeau with all of this, and they're making her the second in the new Captain Marvel movie. I see through that. That is not a meaningful step forward. If you guys really cared, okay, cool. It was got to be Ant-Man and the Wasp last time. It gets to be Wasp and Ant-Man this time. But no, it's not what you're doing.
Well,
You guys are full of it.
Even if Wasp is more competent, way better than Scott Lang, it's still got to be called Ant-Man. It's his franchise. You know, it's like Captain America can have a movie with Bucky in it and him as Winter Soldier, and you're not going to call it Winter Soldier. He's going to call it Captain America. These titles have to make sense. You can't just randomly just change it. That's why with the Marvels, you still call it Captain Marvel, you know? Not the Marvels.
That's
right.
Even though they're all in it, but that doesn't change that the title main character, Carol Danvers, needs to be in the title.
Yeah, if you guys cared about woman advancement and everything, then Carol Danvers deserves her second movie, just like all those other men got their second movie, right? Right. Let's
like if you would rather, like if it's a choice between have it called Wasp and the Ant-Man, or have it called Ant-Man and the Wasp, but the Wasp has her own movie, you apparently are settling for, oh yeah, just call it Wasp and the Ant-Man. We're good enough. You don't actually have to give Wasp her own movie. We don't care.
Right. Question 33. How was the last 2 weeks been since giving up on T'Challa getting recast? That's a joke. I thought D-Real would still be here to the end, and he was supposed to laugh at that. But that's not the real question.
Yeah, that was funnier than the joke that you thought was the funniest joke. I'll tell you that.
Question 33, Jaded Fanboy. What lesson can be learned from Instagram reforming? Do you even know about that story?
No.
A bunch of the Kardashians were like, make Instagram again. And they changed what they had going on Instagram, where they would suggest and recommend things on your homepage to now you get to only see what your followers have been posting, what you follow. So less recommendations. Instagram reformed because enough of the users changed their policy. So how should the T'Challa fans take that? Because we all want him to be recast. And I feel like I'm not going to give up just because the studio did a trailer, just because the announcements from Feige said we're not recasting. No, I've seen time and time again. The Sonic trailer came out, they changed. I've seen time and time again people from hashtag, you okay, K-Dot?
Yeah, I'm good.
Mute yourself if you're gonna. We got
Yeah, he's knocking stuff around and
all this evidence of studios changing and altering for the fan base. Instagram did it. Just in general, protest. It happens and people change their mind even though they were fixed on doing this one direction. Yes, Instagram reformed. And they're like, cool, we'll have less of those recommendations you guys don't really want. We thought it was great for finding new creators, but we know that if we're not pushing the boundaries, then we're not doing enough. So yeah, after this, we're going to return to the way Instagram used to be. Okay, cool. I'm happy. Now, as a T'Challa fan, I want you guys to recast. And I just saw a whole big corporation, bigger than Marvel, Instagram. That's a Facebook corporation now, Meta. That's totally someone who you wouldn't expect to change. They did. Enough fan backlash, enough celebrity power got behind it. So what I need now is for celebrities to get on this recasting bandwagon. I remember hearing Michael Jai White in a Vlad interview just a couple of weeks ago saying that it would be important for them to recast the character. That's cool. That's a celebrity. Give me more. Let's make Hollywood in an uproar. Every black actor needs to speak on this. Maybe Denzel would be the loudest voice, but we got to build to Denzel. Let's hear what Tyrese Gibson.
I think, Jill, this issue, right? And with the black community, people are being a little bit too emotional about it, right? And look, my whole decision to recast, someone can say it's of emotion, but my reason for it is of a logical reason, and that's for the story. It's just like the issue, like I said, with Fast and the Furious. Brian Paul Walker's character is dead, right? Brian's alive. The actor's dead. I understand why they don't want to use him. But for the sake of the story, it does not make sense that Brian is not in any of these movies because it has been set up that any adventure they go on, Brian is always there. Always, no matter what. If they have kids, he's there. Give him the babysitter. He's always there. Now it doesn't make Fast and Furious movies don't make sense in general.
But that part doesn't make sense.
That part makes no lick of sense because in Fast 9, his wife is there. Why would Brian send his wife by herself? Yeah, I get it. She's with her brother and stuff, but why would
we know it's because the character died?
Yeah, and that's and we know.
A level
I
of
understand
acceptance that we can go and we can let it slide.
Kate,
right.
But I was just gonna say, Kate, we got an easier example. They recasted Rhodes. So don't tell me that there's an issue. Don't tell me. You've already done it. The MCU's already done the recasting thing, and Disney even had Rhodes go, "It's me. I'm here. Deal with it." They literally were telling the audience, "This is happening. We don't care what you think. We don't care if you like it."
And it was for lesser reasons. It was for contract negotiations with Terrence Howard. This is a death. This is a real life, huge, significant, like meaningful reason for why you're going to recast. This isn't some squabbling thing where there's a bad guy, there's a good guy, greedy guy or not. This is about a guy who can no longer perform. If you, Marvel Studios, could have anyone in the world perform as that, it would be Chadwick Boseman. Unfortunately, that cannot be completed. Find somebody new. Continue the character. And I feel that they decided not to with their emotional decision. And the thing is, emotional decisions can be
that's what I'm saying,
reeled back in.
So that's what I'm saying. The black celebrities and a lot of black people haven't hopped on it yet is because they're either afraid to, they're super emotional about it. Like, no, we recast, we have to honor his legacy. But like me and you said on the last stream, honoring someone's legacy isn't ending it and killing it off. You know, it's continuing and pushing forward. I understand they're pushing with the Black Panther brand, but T'Challa is the Black Panther brand. He's the definitive Black Panther. He's the first Black Panther. This is his brand. All of it is his brand.
Okay. Devil's advocate, though.
We don't want to hear it, Mads. It's okay. Pass.
Go ahead, man.
Love you, darling.
A woman taking the devil's advocate side. What a coincidence.
Shut up. Just what actor would actually want to be that one that is like doing the next Doctor Who thing? Like who would want to be the one to play T'Challa after Chadwick Boseman and have the entire world judge them under a microscope, their performance? Everyone would look at him with the same views as like what Jaded does.
Yeah,
like, I love
the answer to that question is any actor who's not a millionaire and would love to make a name for himself. People like love the opportunity of getting to be Martin Luther King or playing historical figures like that. They'll never be overwhelmed by the challenge of it, where they just, I don't know, hyperventilate and kind of.
Oh,
I don't see George Clooney being nervous and like going, "Gee, I hope I live up to Michael Keaton's legacy as Batman." He didn't care.
We don't talk about George Clooney as
Batman. No, I have to because I'm never letting anybody.
You're bringing up an emotion or some sort of like a pressure, which some people pressure is all they need. That gets them more motivated and that makes their performance even better. That's a non-issue. Devil's advocate.
That being said, give Michael J. White the mantle. I'll be a happy mama.
Give her Black Panther, like as T'Challa.
No, yeah.
I would like
put him in the suit. I'll be a happy mama.
That's too dry. If they do have to cast someone that does almost resemble, not exactly resemble Chadwick, but resemble his type of T'Challa. Like,
of course, you're continuing the same character he was playing.
Closer to the facial structure, body type.
Why? You did it with James Bond. They recast it numerous times.
No, but in James Bond, it's a new universe every time. In this, it is the same universe, so they got to continue the consistency of what T'Challa did in the first movie.
I'm not saying Michael J. White would be bad, but you can't just jump from T'Challa the way Chadwick looks to Michael J. White, who's like a big buff, light-skinned black dude and stuff. It looks totally different from him.
So get the same skin color,
but that's just too drastic of a the guy from Snowfall. The guy from Snowfall that plays
Elon Noel.
he has he almost kind of, he's not exactly like Chadwick, but same body type.
Yeah, I
hair,
have to agree with
skin
West Hill.
color.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
With
Pretty close. But I think any new up and coming black actor would love to play T'Challa. Sure, there's gonna be a lot of pressure, but anyone who's pressuring him to like, yo, you need to be just like Chadwick, then that's
Anson
wrong.
Idris.
Then
Yeah, but
that's wrong. Nobody should be.
it's
Actually,
also-
I know there are people that are saying for God dang, his first name escaped me. Denzel's son.
Sean?
No, Denzel Washington. Isaiah Washington.
Okay. I don't think that's his name, but his son, yeah.
I think that's it. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I did correct you. His name is John David Washington.
John
Now,
David.
look, if they
My
did recast somebody, the thing is, and we know why. We now know why Chadwick Boseman was getting smaller in the role because of his sickness.
Yeah.
You gotta. All they need to make sure you get jacked up and you can play the character and continue it. That's all you got to do. It's simple. Not that
A
hard.
New York Times article came out today that reinforced no one could fill Chadwick's shoes, and it would be unfair to do that to the new guy. And when you do an article like that, it makes me think, who paid for this article to be made?
Yeah.
And see, and look, this is one thing, right? The alternatives people want to. switch
nothing
this-
but these deals. Nothing.
all the alternatives, like even for a multiversal T'Challa, why we want a multiversal T'Challa to take over this T'Challa? It's this almost the same thing as recasting. It literally is. Now you just recast him with a new version of this character with a new actor from a different place to take over in the main universe, which is dumb.
Okay,
True.
but
There's a reason the multiverse is separated from the main universe, because we know why the multiverse is there. So any creator can come in and do it whatever the hell they want in these comics and stuff. So why you get Dark Knight Returns and whatnot.
I think the idea, a perspective is they don't want to continue T'Challa. It's not like they're fighting for it.
Yeah. How did Derek Boseman know in a December 8th interview before Feige said anything in December 12th about we're not recasting? This is something that was been in the works. I think Chadwick heard about the whole it's not going to be me in the Black Panther role anymore. The Black Panther is malleable. There's a video that Theo put up on his YouTube channel, which is there with the name there, IAS-IJS with Theo B. Check it out. Chronologically, you can see every event that came up regarding to Shuri, T'Challa recasting, even before the death of Chadwick Boseman. There was talks.
And like this thing, dude, I love Chadwick. Dude's awesome. But just because the actor passed away, the prime example, the Dumbledore actor, he got recasted after the first movie, and I did not even know they recast it. All these years, I never knew Dumbledore was a recast this whole time in the Harry Potter movie. I thought it was the same guy from the first movie. I thought that, and I come to find out after all these movies years later that he got recast in the second movie because the first actor died. I was like,
you don't think he did too good of a role in this iteration?
Beard,
yeah, it was yes, the beard, but the second guy did so well that I didn't even realize there was a change. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I have to agree with
different.
that. I don't think he did
I
that
did.
much.
I did notice the change.
We were younger.
But
You're adorable.
Chadwick,
fucked up.
Chadwick is tied to this character. He is tied to it, just like how any actor who played Superman is tied to Superman in a way. They all played him, but
Yeah, I mean, you had multiple Superman, you have multiple Batman, you have multiple Jokers.
We've
you
gone
have
down that road for sure.
Again,
Yes.
so it's like,
And I don't think that Chadwick did such an amazing job that no one could come close. I'm
Yeah.
going to co-sign that one.
yeah, because
Being 54, I haven't seen this be a problem before with any other hero. Yada yada yada. Yeah. It's just they have the fill the characteristics of the character, not the actor.
Yeah.
In this situation, because Chadwick Boseman played T'Challa, I would like for him to look as close to Chadwick Boseman as possible. That's not the prerequisite, but it is a bonus.
It don't got to be
criteria.
identical, but close enough because you can't drastic like with with
Like
War
they
Machine.
did with
He
the,
With
agreed.
War
gradual.
Machine,
Brody.
I don't
Yeah.
want that.
yeah, with like War Machine, you went to a light skinned black dude to to this shorter light skinned black dude.
smaller guy. With
Shorter dark skinned black dude. Like it was a super drastic.
Try to avoid the system shock of going from one
Yeah.
thing to
Right.
another.
Wasn't
Yeah,
Superman?
Brody hit a tanning bed.
You're right. Superman Returns was a sequel to what Christopher Reeves was accomplishing,
Mhm.
and so that is an apples to apples continuation, of what we want. But that was DC, not Marvel.
Yeah.
James Bond is a new universe every single film, so we're just making things up to win arguments now. I see you, Chill. Wait a minute. James Bond is a new universe every single time.
You said that James Bond is a new universe.
Yeah,
every
it's not a
single
different,
time.
but they just recast the actor every movie.
I said that with James Bond, they recast them all the time, and you said, "Well, no, it's a different universe every time they recast."
So I'm wrong in that.
I think the only
You're
one
saying
that
that you're wrong in that.
I think the only ones that is a different universe is the Quantum of Solace, James Bond. I think
James Bond is a different thing entirely.
Oh no, I
James
agree.
James Bond is a Time Lord. That's why he gets a new face every few years.
Mike?
So I just found out that Prey was a fantasy movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, weird. I had to sit through 10 minutes of somebody sitting in front of a camera ranting and raving about.
Oh no!
some
Don't tell me you
chick
saw my
going
video.
after a deer to realize that this was a fantasy movie about an alien predator crashing to the earth.
No, hey,
but it was a
excuse me,
fantasy movie
me,
because
Mike.
the chick
Can we
was
take this
running
somewhere
after a
else?
deer.
There is a
What's
difference
happening?
between a sci-fi movie and just making stuff up as you go along and going, "We're gonna do whatever the hell we want." It's two totally different things, and you know it.
Can we do this later? Can you sit on this, Mike? Sit on it. We're on question 33. You can answer the question of 33.
Oh, I thought you were done with the 30 because I didn't see that. What is it?
What lesson can be learned from Instagram reforming that T'Challa fans should take?
Wait a minute. What do you mean by reforming?
Well, what they did was they made the homepage full of people that you don't follow. No one liked that. So now they returned and they said, we'll give you recommendations on the explore page.
Oh, yeah. Well, this T'Challa thing it's difficult because whatever Marvel does is going to be the wrong thing. Whether
disagree.
No. If they recast,
to sensitive babies who don't understand the significance of the most important superhero Marvel has, they could be offended.
But see, it's your fault. It's your fault for making him significant. If this was just literally another superhero, another Marvel movie or whatever, like I don't know, like Captain America or the Hulk or something like that, it wouldn't be. I don't think it would necessarily be that big of a deal.
It's a big of a deal because his skin color is dark and everyone else is white. Like literally everyone else was white.
I'm saying because of what he meant to the culture. That's the problem. And if they recast him, and I mean that person, whoever had the unfortunate, like to fill his shoes, like they are going to get roasted.
Well, what they're doing is not filling his shoes necessarily. They're playing T'Challa, which is bigger shoes than Chadwick Boseman. That character with 60 years of existence.
Agreed.
First black superhero.
But unfortunately, I heard one time somebody brought up, oh, well, when Christopher Reeve became paralyzed, they didn't kill Superman or something like that. But Christopher Reeve wasn't playing Superman at the time he was in the accident. And also, this is the first time, this is uncharted waters because you can say, oh, Heath Ledger, he died after doing the Joker or whatever, but it's not the same because this was the first time, like you said, the first black superhero that was on, well, if you don't count Blade, was on the big screen, and it's a watershed moment, and you've attached, these things are attached now forever, Chadwick and Black Panther. I don't agree that the character should go away because T'Challa, I mean, is integral to the thing, but we don't know. This is uncharted waters because if you have say Tony or Steve die or whatever, then you could compare if Chris Evans died or Robert Downey Jr. died, and then what would they do? Would they recast Tony even though his story wasn't finished being told, or Steve's or whatever? We don't know that.
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't actually use that.
But try to imagine that though. I mean, it would be the same thing, don't you think?
For Tony, for Iron Man?
But the way people are going about it and that's why I say it's the black part about it. People are so against the recasting thing.
Well, because of the lack of black character. That's the problem. See, you finally got a black character.
No, not all black character. Died. The black character. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, but unfortunately, the actor died. So that's the thing right there. Like, because if you recast him, you're like, oh well, you know what? It didn't matter that Chadwick played him, or so. It'd be almost like, you know, you just be dismissive of him.
That would be
It's just
ignoring the significance of Black Panther. That's
it's
what that would be.
I don't disagree. Maybe do a multiverse thing. Bring Michael B. Jordan in. There you go. He's from another dimension. He's Black Panther there or something.
I like T'Challa. I want T'Challa.
Yeah,
No, but I'm saying no. Have him beat T'Challa. He would beat T'Challa in the multiverse.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit confusing for the casuals who are not up to stuff with me and you are
Well,
with
you know
multiverse.
what? You know what? Hold on. We're 10 years in. It's about time. These casuals need to step their game up
Yep.
and become. You know, come on.
Bro,
Enough.
Mike, these casuals are slow with this multiverse stuff.
These
Trust me,
casuals are slow
they
to
still,
everything.
they
dude.
still slow, like slow as fuck.
I mean, I, you know, if somebody has to sit there and watch a female chase a deer to realize they're watching a fantasy movie, then, you know, these casuals got to step up. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Gotta be kidding.
That's all
me.
I'm saying.
You
That's
got
all I'm
to be
saying, dude.
kidding me.
I think you winged him.
You have
Jeez.
got to be kidding me.
Hey, Kugler, stop writing your piece of art inspired by the passing of your friend. Lunatics on the internet demand we recast. No,
Yeah,
no. It's not lunatics on the internet demanding a recast. It is thoughtful people who are not emotionally attached to the situation. You guys know that if the prime minister's family gets kidnapped, it might even be president also. But you're not allowed to be the president anymore because the decisions that you get to make are going to be like skewed.
So wait, did you feel a connection to him? Like, I mean, like certain characters, not because of the blackness or anything like that, but just because he was a character that you enjoyed.
Wait, connection to Chadwick Boseman? Who?
Yes, Chadwick.
No, I don't. I can't say I felt a connection with
No.
Chadwick Boseman. Go ahead.
Do you think that's why you have that disconnect to it, where you're like, yeah, just recast it because that's
Exactly.
what happened.
But they go, oh, we spent 4 months on set with this dude. Guys, watch Theo's video. They spent 4 months on set with this guy and a little bit of time in promotion. And that just, he is Black Panther. They're the same. Yeah, to you, because that's where you've been living in that bubble. Separate yourself. There's been guys who have pages and pages of comics, stores even, and they know that the T'Challa is different than Chadwick.
So Kugler's writing the script, but who's co-writing it with him? Someone's co-writing it, and that person,
A guy named Joe,
has like his credits aren't really good.
But yeah, Aglax, I didn't actually know James Bond was the same guy. I always thought that whenever Daniel Craig took over from was it Pierce Brosnan? When he took over, I didn't know that he was saying I'm still him, except my hair's blonde now and I'm a whole lot younger. I thought it was.
And look, with
Daniel Craig isn't this Universal thing. There were some characters like M and Moneypenny that didn't change, that were portrayed by the same actors or whatever. But it wasn't like there were every time there was a new adventure or whatever, there were new characters. It wasn't. There were certain characters that were like
Played by the same actor.
Yeah.
So when I watch a James Bond film, this is the 25th film that just came out recently.
Mm-hmm.
Did James Bond's adventures from the 60s and 70s, like those things happened to this character?
No, Quantum of Solace Bond is definitely rebooted. He's not in the
Right.
same
Yeah.
With
And the
Daniel
characters
Craig,
are
He's the first reboot.
That's what I meant then.
Yeah.
It's not the same guy
And-
over and over.
And while Moneypenny is in there, it's not the same actress. I think she actually passed away.
Yeah.
But like the character, the names
And
are still there,
different
but they got different
Q,
actors.
different Q, different
Let's go
different
5 more minutes.
Time
Yeah,
Lord, it's also
and look, with the Chadwick thing, right? So in my case, I seen Chadwick movies before Black Panther, right? Sure, I'm attached to him as an actor because he's a great actor, but I'm even more attached to his character in the MCU, not him, the actor, because I put him up there with Chris Evans, Captain America. That's how much I like him. There's only 2 MC characters I really love: T'Challa and Captain America, Steve Rogers, right? But I can still recast because I'm thinking about the story. Because where you're killing this character at, he's about to be hollow as heck. Super hollow character. I can't celebrate a hollow character. I can't gas up a hollow character. What the like?
So how would you feel if they recast him and the person they recast him was a bad actor?
then it's a bad actor.
You
That's
mean
all.
before
It's just
seeing
a
the
bad
movie,
actor.
or do I just know, oh, not him, and I have
No,
like
you
a
see it.
Well, I
year?
mean, I wouldn't know
and you're
until
like,
I
wow,
seen. I
that's
wouldn't know until
bad.
I seen the
Well,
movie.
I think it was necessary to change the actors. I don't care if he was bad. Like that is like
I mean, I care
secondary.
if he.
What's more important
care
to
if
me is
I
the
care
Black
if he-
Panther on screen and T'Challa's story being a household name, just like Clark Kent is and Bruce Wayne. Because I'm a guy who likes fighting oppressive systems, and having all of the superheroes that we think of and come to mind all being white is downright evil, and I want to reverse that. Having the Black Panther there, whether it's a good actor or a bad actor, whether the movie is good or not, isn't as important to me as having the Black Panther being in a movie.
Because I hate using this again, but I got to use it. It's like the civil rights movement, right?
Uh-huh.
We didn't, after Martin Luther King died and MLK and Malcolm X and all these other people died, we didn't stop fighting for civil rights, did we?
Right, but did you have anybody replace those two gentlemen
Well,
as
nobody
far as
stepped
being
up, though.
leaders?
That's
Well,
the
nobody
difference.
wanted to step up
Yeah,
exactly.
nobody stepped up. There was
But
the difference.
But the movement itself, like the movement, the whole thing, the civil rights, no one stopped that or postponed it. It was
The
like
civil rights didn't end. The civil rights didn't
Right.
end when Martin Luther
But
King
see,
died
again-
and Malcolm X died.
Right,
Right.
but
Yeah,
nobody
you have to
replaced.
keep it
But nobody
pushing.
replaced them. You're
Because it
asking.
wasn't necessary.
You're asking them to replace a character in this analogy. You're asking them to replace Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, because in reality, the movement still happened without them. It didn't.
Well, yeah,
matter.
nobody's not gonna like. I'm not saying someone pretend to be MLK and assume his
Oh,
identity and all that. But in this case,
Not to the same level, but sure,
T'Challa-
different people came up. Yeah.
In this case, since T'Challa is the Black Panther brand, right? And Shuri was only Black Panther, 4 comics? She is not the Black Panther
No,
brand.
she
She's
was Black Panther
barely.
for more than 4 comics.
Shuri was Black Panther on her own comic 4 times. Every other comic that she was the Black Panther,
is
it was
far-
in a volume.
Far from Black Panther. She's not Black. Bruce Wayne is the Batman brand.
That's like saying
Or the Superman brand. She is not.
that would be like saying John Walker gets to be Captain America because he was Captain America longer than Shuri was Black Panther. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, look, Shuri can someday be Black Panther, but T'Challa needs to be done correctly and get a story arc like Steve and Iron Man.
Well,
Hell,
Steve Rogers wasn't always Captain America.
Well, he
There
was
were moments
more
where
than
where he
he
quit.
He's the brand. He is the cap. He is.
Well, I agree. Yeah, no,
And
I
when he
definitely
quit,
agree.
didn't we follow Steve even when he quit?
We did. Yes, we did.
Because
For me,
this is the
follow
worst thing
T'Challa.
about it. This is the worst.
But he
thing
wasn't
about
called
it.
Captain America, though.
You can
This
call
is
him
a
whatever you
virtual
want to.
nomad.
I want that guy. That I'm a fan of the hero named Steve Rogers, who also has the name of Captain America. But
So
I
you're
want to
saying-
watch.
You're a fan of T'Challa.
Yeah, I'm a fan of more of the character than the actor. But see, this is the worst thing about it. 2 of the worst, well, not the worst, they're not the worst, but 2 of the worst written Avengers, Hulk and Thor, got 10 years of development, but T'Challa cannot. That's the fucked up thing about it. These 2 trash characters with the trash treatment of writing
They became trash characters. There's
well,
a
yeah,
difference,
they
though.
became trash. I'm not saying they're trash.
Hulk
in
and
general.
who? Who was the other one? Who was
Hulk
the other
and
one?
Thor,
DC Dots?
Hulk and Thor. They're
Oh,
probably
Thor, okay.
they're probably the only 2 Avengers that are big temple characters that deserve to get some justice that got treated so badly, but the MCU decided, well, let's just keep continuing them. Let's keep it going. 10 years. They got 10 years of development, whether it ended up being good or bad. T'Challa's not even getting.
Well, see,
any
out
of
of,
that kind of shit.
those examples, I would say Thor. I think they haven't treated Hulk right, because Hulk, I guess it's almost kind of like what they did to the X-Men in 2016 and all that. They don't necessarily own 100% of the rights, so they don't want to invest any sort of effort into the character. That's why, like, there wasn't much of a big deal after Norton got fired or whatever, didn't come back, and then we got Mark Ruffalo. I don't think you'll
I
ever
always
see
look
like
at
the
Hulk
solo
as a
Hulk movie.
supporting character, anyways. I don't think he can really lead anything.
A movie
at least
that is
one
about
movie.
the grand legacy of the character would be doing more to build it up than the crude whole household name tier that Chill keeps like to employ. When you say a movie about the grand legacy of the character, I'm talking about the guy who Chadwick Boseman played. That dude right there, that hero, that's important to me. The movie should be about him. The franchise should be about him. Yeah, a Black Panther role is passed generation to generation, but as you know, aggressively relaxing, who reads comics, as you know, as a comic book owner and an understanding of how time moves in comics, it doesn't. It freezes. And at the time, in the present, we only watch what happens with the Black Panther when T'Challa is there. There was a time where he was in a coma. Thank you, Shuri, for what you were able to bring and save Wakanda. We love you. You were not the Black Panther of this time. It is T'Challa. It returned to him.
They always go back to form, like, and people run with it. John Kent is super. I guess he's Superman right now in the comics, and guess who's going to become Superman again pretty soon? Clark Kent. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when Superman died, you had
Sam Alexander got to be Nova.
We were all waiting for Superman.
And whoop-de-doo, here comes
And
Richard Rider. He's alive again.
I
no matter how
guarantee-
many times they do the swap, it never lasts. I don't even know why fans get excited about it or fake triggered by it. It's just the same old, same old. Anyways, I said I was going to be here for 5 minutes.
Real quick,
the 5 minutes have passed.
I just want to say, I want to guarantee one thing.
Yeah.
I guarantee by the time the MCU finish up Sam Wilson's arc as Captain America, I guarantee you they're going to go back to Steve Rogers as Captain America in the comics. They're going to reboot him some way, but he's going to return. Just watch.
It always returns.
Wait. You're talking about in the movies?
Yeah, the movies.
You think Chris Evans is going to come back?
No, not in the movies. But I'm saying that Marvel, as the Marvel Comics itself, is going to go back to sticking with Steve Rogers in the comics.
Well, that's what happened. What happened was Steve got old because he fought a villain that either repressed his super soldier serum.
Steve got old.
Out or whatever.
Sam Wilson bees the Captain America was the end of issue 25. Who's it going to be? And then 2 years later, Sam returns to being called Falcon. Rodney Barnes was the writer. He's actually black, and he said it'd be better for him to return to his roots and make a name of his own. And then what happened is the movies influenced the decision recently to make Sam Wilson Captain America a second time.
Hold on. The movies influenced the decision for Steve to become Captain America again, because when they realized that they were having a movie called Civil War come out, they're like, oh shit, he doesn't look like Chris Evans. He's all pretty. He's like Grandpa.
You're right.
So they brought him back, and
I'm sure sales had to do with it too.
And then they made him Hydra, and that went off well.
Oh god!
But yeah. So
Steve is Captain America right now. I can pull up a Sam Wilson comic. It's all the way over there, so I can't pull it up in front of me. But they definitely have one called Symbol of Truth with Sam Wilson and Sentinel of Liberty with Steve Rogers, and it's malarkey. Let me read some of your last.
Don't they have like a dozen Captain Americas right now?
Yeah. Oh, that was the United States of Captain America. Yeah, that was a 5-issue miniseries.
We've had both characters be Cap. We've seen them both drop it and then go back at this point in 2 in comics. It's about what the writer wants to do. And I disagree with what the writer wants to do. I think that elevating the name of Falcon does way more, because we know that he's only going to be Captain America for a cup of tea. We know that Sam Wilson and Falcon is a brand synonymous to each other. And what we should do is ask for black superheroes to have the same level in what tier and hierarchy as some of those white characters are. And if you're not asking for that, you and I do not share the same enemy.
It's about what Marvel wants to do, not what the writer wants to do. The writer only does what Marvel wants them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Editors have too much power. Steve got old in Rick Remender's run. Sam as Cap originated with him. Thank you. That closes out this episode of 33 Burning MCU Questions. Anyone want to plug themselves?
Phrasing.
Everybody knows why.
Mike is already.
I usually do that on Fridays.
And then everyone watch Theo B's video. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Hey, Mike, I'll see you on Fortnite later tonight.
Yes, as always.
No, I actually downloaded Fortnite now. It took a long time.
Oh, you finally did it?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like at least next Wednesday before it finished.
You're
your Canadian internet.
Why are you laughing at that, Jaded?
because it's hilarious how he's going the Canadian internet, because you got places in the United States that are still using dial-up.
I don't know if any are there. I don't even think there's dial-up is still a thing. What are you talking about?
Yo, peace out to all non-bots.